I've just been told off by Jane Greenoff already because I've got a cough, you see, and you know I've got acid reflux and I had chocolate before I went to bed. So she's like, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, it's just gastric reflux. She's like, what are you doing eating chocolate? Just so we're going live on air. Anyway, let me do today's early bird because it's amazing. You know how much I love calico. I love the smell of calico. Right, this is a pre-cut piece of 2 meters. 2 meter pre-cut piece of the most gorgeous, look, calico. Yeah, I'll get Kat to fold it back up afterwards. Right, where, how much is it? Oh, we got new graphics. $8.96. No, the writing's different. I have to look here because I'm on this. Oh, you're going to have a lot of that today. I'll just warn you now because they've never put the screen there we asked for. We have to look over there. There was even a man in last week doing cameras and everything, but he didn't do this. Anyway, look, you say, oh, you're saving £1. Saving £1, saving £1, saving £1. So you get 2 meters, it's already cut. If you do order 2, they don't come joined together. But imagine all the stuff you do with this, whether you're making toiles, whether you're making cushion backs, whether you're making quilt backs, wall hanging backs, dyeing it to make a frock out of, because I love calico. I think it's the most brilliant fabric. I've got all the dust, I have to pull it over my head now. All my hair's in the, well, anyway. It'll be April the 19th soon, I'm sure. That's when my haircut is, you see, I can't wait. Anyway, you get 2 meters for £8.96. Loads going in basket. Oh, now, I haven't got as much as you imagine. Just so you know, so please be careful. If you want this, pop it in your basket, check out. Because remember, once you pay your P&P, that's it for the whole day. You don't pay another P&P for the whole day. So if you buy this, check it out, your P&P's done. Then you buy a Jane Greenoff kit in a minute, or you buy a Katharine Wright kit, or you buy something from Yarn Lane. You don't pay another P&P for the whole day, up until midnight tonight. Or if you buy anything off the website as well, you don't pay another P&P. It just conglomerates. That's not the right word, is it? That's not the right word. Coagulates. No, that's not the right word. What does it do at midnight, Elliot? Not compounds, no, not combines. It all comes together at midnight and you pay 1 P&P at midnight tonight. Oh, there's loads of you on the Facebook Live already. You keep checking out on that. Kat will tell us quantity-wise, and I'll just say a few hellos. Half the stock's gone. Right, so Jules says hello, John and team. Derek says good morning. Now, it's not Hemmer. That's my new name for Hannah, hemorrhoid. It's not, it's Elliot, it's Kat and me today, because obviously this was supposed to be Vicky's day today, but Vicky's not here, so I'm covering for her. Jackie says, morning. Did you take Hayley and Emma some cake? Right, first of all, Hayley doesn't work here, Jackie. She works in the office. Hannah's not in today, and Emma's not in today. And no, I didn't bring any cake home. I never do. I always leave it at the studio. Claire says, I love that colour on you. Thank you. It's magenta, I think it's called. Anne says, good morning, John and team. Oh, and Jane, looking forward to a great show. Love the shirt. It brightens up a dull, rainy day here in Lancashire. I know, it's raining here as well. It was beautiful. It's Stratford-upon-Avon yesterday. It was beautiful, I can't tell you. Morning, John and team, says Stuart. Stuart was on my show yesterday. Morning, John and gang, says Hilary. June says morning. Glorious colour this morning. Chris says looking lovely in that fuchsia. Oh, Chris has called it fuchsia. Derek says sorry. Good morning, Elliot and Kat and John. What colour would you call that? Your microphone's not on at the moment, but fuchsia. Oh, you'd call it fuchsia as well. You see, I've got another pink shirt at home, and if you put it next to it, the other one looks more like fuchsia than this one does, because there's a little bit more purple in it. And I hadn't noticed it's got like blue things. Anyway, edging, piping. Consolidate, that's the word. Well done, Kat. Only took us 10 minutes, but we got there. Right, there are only 15 left. 15 left. So look, now how many are in baskets? Oh, okay, there are 15 left, right? But 11 people have got it in baskets. So in effect, if those people check out, we've got 4 left. So you can check those out while I fold this up. Otherwise, Kat will be moaning for the whole 5 hours.
Absolutely.
I know her too well, Elliot. That's the problem. She's put a picture. If you follow Kat on Facebook, you know she's bought her lovely house. And I was describing her house to you on air the other day, wasn't I? She's got this like roof terracey bit, and she was worried because every time they went to look at the house, it wasn't sunny. And she said to Liam, the boyfriend, not Liam Munch, they couldn't be any different. Well, they've got some similarities, I suppose, but Liam Munch is here. Liam Kat's boyfriend is here. Munch is like that, little Munch, right? Liam's like that, right? Anyway, it was sunny yesterday, and the whole terrace, the whole roof terrace, was drenched in sun, and she got a hammock out there, so she was able to lie on a hammock. while Liam did the housework. Right, okay. How many have checked out now? Have you got any left? 5. There are 5 not checked out. I'm going to leave that with you. Remember I said if lots of people have bought multiples, they don't come join together, you will get 2. You will get 2 of these, 1 here and 1 here. You buy 2. Chocolate. Shall we have a look at the menu? Let's look at the menu then. Here we go. There we go. Oh, the Cross Stitch Guild with Jane Greenoff. That's a bit posh. Don't normally write that, do we? The Cross Stitch Guild with Jane Greenoff at 8 o'clock. Got some gorgeous, gorgeous things. In fact, if you watch the John Scott show, you'll have seen one of the pieces exclusively on there. We obviously weren't selling it. Today's your first chance here to buy it today. That's at 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we've got Katharine Wright in. She's doing a linen apron. We've also got her, you know, her fat quarter skirt that sold out last time we did it, right? Oh, do you want to have a look at it? There it is. It moves, watch. I don't mean it as in Katharine. I mean, there you go, the film.
Look at that twirl.
The twirl, you see. Now, that is not the main item of the ad, but we got it back in stock because it sold out last time. And, oh, actually, can I just say? Just tell you, right? 2 days ago or 3 days ago, we had the biggest ever early bird special with, we had 4 fat quarters for $3.99, right? We're going to see if we can get, there might be some left. We're going to see if we can get some back for that hour. Excuse me. Are they on pre-order? Oh, go and buy them on pre-order. You need to, if you're going to do that skirt from Katharine, you need 2 sets because you need 8 fat quarters. I'll show you a picture later. Anyway, and the apron is this one. And does she twirl in this as well? Look. Fabulous. Right, so that's 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock is Jane back with more goodies from the Cross Stitch Guild. At 11 o'clock, we've got the Sparkler Quilt with Katharine. Now, that is a Beth Studley design. And what it is in the bundle, we have got the... Oh, there's that. Now, that one there is Beth's own one that she's lent to us. We have got different colourways, and we've got panels. We're doing panels. Now, I need to warn you ahead, the pattern is not available on its own. We've only done it in kits, but it's not... Oh, and it's not on pre-order yet. It's not on pre-order yet because we're still waiting for confirmation of one of the panels. So that's that. What's after that then? Oh, and then we go to Yarn Lane. Katharine stays with us and we do Yarn Lane twice. So good we said it twice. Ladies Spring Knits with Katharine White. I can't tell you how many there are. There's a long crocheted one, there's a long knitted one, there's a short knitted one, there's a smock one, there's loads of them, They'll all go on pre-order before we do the show at 12 o'clock. Right, now there are 3 ways you can get in touch. The first way you can get in touch is by email. What's that funny noise then? No, that... Anyway, so studio@sewingstreet.com is the email. Studio@sewingstreet is the email. You can also send me a message on Facebook Live, which are the ones I read out here. And very quickly, oh, I can't do it quickly. Laurie says, morning, John, man in pink, bright and cheerful, got my early bird, have a great day. Ellen says, morning, John and team, love the shirt, makes you look slim and gorgeous. Ellen, I think that might be something wrong with your telly. Claire says, how's Jane today? And wait a minute, we haven't even introduced her yet, Claire. I'll do that. Kaz says, morning, Jane, John and all. Morning, John and team, says Julie. Julie, thank you for your lovely film yesterday. Alison Marion's watching. Morning, Magenta Man, says Margaret. Morning, says Carol. Becky Alexander Frost says, love how amazing your shirt colour is. Thank you, Buffer. Where's my pin? She sent everybody a blooming pin. I didn't get one. Pam Minnie Harney says, good morning, gorgeous. Carol says, been doing my cross stitch since 7 this morning. Oh, Carol, you're a good woman. Anyway, so that's how you send a message on Facebook. But another way to send a message, go to the website, www.sewingstreet.com. Nearly. Click or watch the show live. Then, as you see on the right-hand side there, there's a box. You can just write a message there. Send that through to Kat, and that's the one that will come as the white square on my bottom later on. Right, if you scroll down... Oh, sold out! Sold out, sold out, sold out. Well done, everyone who got the early bird. Right, this is pre-order. This is everything from 8 o'clock. Everything from still 8 o'clock. Everything from 9 o'clock. Oh, something without a picture there. Right. Keep going, keep going. That's 9 o'clock. Now, and then there'll be 10 o'clock. There's 10 o'clock. There's loads, isn't there? Then it stops because 11 o'clock hasn't been loaded yet. But as soon as Kat can load it, she will do, so you can get the best Dudley Sparkle. Oh, look. Just click on it, right? So 2 days ago, my early bird special was 4 fat quarters. They're all the same. They're 100% cotton, quilting weight. And they're £1. They're basically $3.99. So it means it's £1 per fat quarter. To do Katharine's skirt later on, you need 8 fat quarters. So the fabric for the skirt alone will be what? £8. £8. You need to make it 2 there. That's how you do it. Make it 2 in the. That's if you want to, obviously. Now, please be careful because there's only about 10% of the original stock left, and that's it. That's it then. That's all that's left. Right, shall we get on? Sorry about that. I know it takes a long time to get going in the morning. Oh, Becky Alexander said I did send you a pin. It never turned up, and I saw on Facebook everyone going, "Oh, thank you for my pin, Becky Alexander. Thank you for my pin. Oh, what a lovely pin." Got nothing. Where did you send it to, Becky Alexander Frost? Anyway, oh, don't resend it. Don't be daft. I've got a P.O. box address. I've got a P.O. box address that can be sent to. Anyway, come on. Jane, good morning.
Hello.
How are you, my lovely? The first question from Claire was, how's Jane? Because the last 2 times you've been on,
my neck was
funny. No, before that, you saw
my
sciatica back or
yes,
whatever it was.
I'm sure I've been more decrepit since I was 70. I don't accept this.
No.
I'm not having it.
No.
Definitely not having it. So I'm much better. A few car problems this morning, but other than that.
Oh, no. So the first time it was your back and your leg. Then the thing is, we have got to say, they're all self-induced. You know what I mean? Like you were climbing apple trees and lopping apple trees, and you were lifting dry stone walls.
We're paving slabs actually.
Yes, you're paving slabs.
Well, the jobs need doing, and you can't just not do them.
That's what husbands are for, isn't it?
You've met Bill, haven't you?
Yeah, no, he's lovely.
He is
Bill's
lovely.
Adorable.
He is lovely. He's the least practical man I've ever met.
Oh, is he?
But with a very high Mensa score.
Oh, okay.
We hoped that our children would have my common sense and his brains.
Oh, and has
the
that
reverse
worked?
Would have been dead dodgy.
Yes. But then we were saying earlier how brainy your son is.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway. So today there was a car issue.
A car issue this month.
But
so
we're
all right now.
Sound.
Yes, we managed, and we're here.
And at 11 o'clock, she'll be at the end of her 10 o'clock show.
I'll be running for cover.
You'll see the sparks as she leaves. Anyway,
yes.
We've got some gorgeous things to help.
Yes.
We're going to start with
that.
This one here, which is the greenhouse étui with accessories. So what's an étui?
Well, it's a container or a pouch or a purse in the olden days to keep your things in, often sewing.
Right.
And this is absolutely smashing, I have to tell you.
So now, I will show you the kit in a minute, because you're looking at it, you're going, oh, £60.
I know.
You get everything that you're getting out of that box. It's not, you haven't brought things from home to put them in the box. You get everything, don't you?
You get it all. I wanted to show you, if I put this picture here, now I've got to work out whether it's upside down or back.
From the overhead. Look, there you go. You can move it.
Can I jiggle it now? Can you see? Now, my garden doesn't look like that today, I have to tell you.
Well,
that was taken last summer, yes.
Hang on, you'll see it at home in a second.
Okay.
He's just taking his time.
So that's our front garden. And the greenhouse was bought when I ceased to be managing director of the Cross Stitch Guild and Andrew took over. I bought that greenhouse and it has been a joy. And
well, if you follow you on Instagram or any social media, we see you going in doing potting and seeing the seedlings.
All sorts of bits and pieces, yes. So that's where it came from. And Jenny Dixon, the Guild editor, said we will need one of those stitched. Oh, yes. So off I went to work out how to do it.
Okay.
I had to make one in paper to start with.
Of course.
To work out how. So the kit is this. So you're going to get the felt and the lining. If I just hold that like that, look.
Yeah.
I've put my gold needles in the top, look, because I like to keep them handy.
We've got the gold needles available later.
Yep. And then you get a pair of green scissors. Now, the green scissors may vary a bit, but they're all green.
Okay.
We wanted green. I mean, it seemed sensible, didn't it?
Oh,
really?
I have to tell you, my green scissors are nicer than your green scissors.
Well, I meant to change them over, and Andrew will be so cross with me.
Right. So the people who are buying from us today will get these green scissors, won't they?
There you are, look. Aren't they lovely?
Oh, so they're a bit far away. Look, they're like they're electromagnetic. So they start gold here, then they go limey,
like
emeraldy into
ever so
dark.
pretty. Ever so pretty.
Can you see that?
And very sharp.
Yeah, and very sharp.
Yeah,
so you get those scissors, right?
They're Italian, and I mean they are beasts.
Yes.
And then you get the wherewithal to make all these bits. So you've got a little pin keep. There's a tape measure.
I'm just getting everything out the box for you at the moment, Jane.
You do that.
So you get the tape measure to make the tape measure cover.
Yeah.
You've got all the different colours and they're all sorted and...
It's ever so important. Now, with cross-stitch guild kits, if the colours are close or there's lots of greens, we try to pre-sort them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to do that on kits that cost a bit more because it takes time. But you can imagine you not being able to sort the greens very easily.
No, exactly. Now, so are they sorted into project or they just put on cards with the numbers next to them?
No, the numbers are next to them so that when you go to your chart,
yeah, I'll get to the chart in a second. So I've got lovely felt, beautiful, different...
This is pure wool and it comes from Oliver Twist and it's hand-dyed.
I was going to say it looks hand-dyed.
It's lovely stuff.
Then I've got a piece of ribbon.
Yes, for the top.
Yeah. Then I've got a piece of what looks like shantung silk.
Yep.
Or is it dupion? Actually, it's a dupion.
Dupion. I'm sure it's dupion.
Yeah, it's dupion silk. Very good for making wedding dresses, the dupion silk. Then I've got some wadding.
Yes, for the padding.
Then I've got 2 gold needles.
Yes.
Then I've got some linen. Then I've got a huge wodge of linen here.
You'll see why in a minute.
Then I've got buttons. Then I've got a chart.
There you are. Isn't it lovely?
Yeah, hang on, I've not finished yet. Then I've got so many stitch instructions and everything here, plus the original picture that goes in there. Is there anything else I need? No, that's it, isn't it? That's everything I need. All my chart. There must be chart. That's the chart. Oh, there you go. There you go. So there's your chart for your greenhouse. There's your chart for your trowels and your
bits and pieces,
bits and bobs and everything in like that. And then that's the colour chart, and then this is the actual stitch chart.
You've got both. So you can use either.
Okay.
Well, quite a lot of stitchers, I mean, when people publish books on cross-stitch, they always want coloured charts because they look so pretty when you flick through. Stitchers often prefer the black and white ones. The greens vary.
Yes.
And of course, if the chart is only as good as the person who prints them. Whereas if it's a symbol chart, you can be sure which green's which.
Number.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So they're both in there.
Okay, perfect. Oh, hang on, I've got this as well.
Yes, now remind... Oh, that's to make twisted cords. We wanted long lengths.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So you could make twisted cords for your scissors.
So absolutely every single thing that you need. Do you need anything else? Do you need some cardboard or anything like that?
Yes, you need some mount board or cardboard.
Okay, to make the base.
And I mean, you don't need any big pieces. If you go to your local framer and just say, have you got any offcuts? Because there's nothing going to be bigger than one of these sides.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Okay, so take us through it then.
So I mean, it's lots and lots of cross stitch, and you work it obviously flat.
Yes.
On your big piece of fabric.
So this great big piece of linen here.
Yeah. There, look.
That's just one of the pieces. That's just one of the pieces, right? So you get that one. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes. Yeah. It's cashel linen. It's 28 count. And it's beautiful. I mean, you can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
feels
just
beautiful.
delicious.
Now, are they both the same?
Yes.
But they're just cut into pieces.
Yeah.
And like I say, you get the 2 gold needles. Now, is one a sewing needle and one a thing, or they both
I'd have to look
cross-stitch needles? I can tell you, because, one's sharp and one's blunt.
So one's for making up and one's for the actual cross-stitch. And when you see this, if you look at the little flowers and things round the edge of the greenhouse here, if I just move that across a fraction, you can see I did this because I did have a pair of bay trees outside my greenhouse.
Oh.
If I turn it the right way up so you can see what I'm talking about, look. There he is. And that's, my greenhouse has caution blonde thinking on it.
I hope your husband didn't buy that.
No, my son did.
Oh, the clever son.
The clever son.
And so then the instructions to make the tape measure cover and everything are all in there,
yes,
aren't they?
You've got everything. In there. Yes, I mean, I think it's a considered purchase, obviously, it's at £60, but when we've had it on show at things like the Festival of Quilts or Alexandra Palace, out of the door.
No, completely
It's such a pretty thing.
But also, you're saying it's a considered purchase. Just so you get the actual container.
Yes.
There's a needle case. There's a
All
tape measure case.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's everything. And what I would suggest, this is what I would do, is if I did cross stitch, I would make the greenhouse for a friend,
Yes.
like Christmas. Then on their birthday, I'd make
Get
them
the
a needle
present.
case.
Interesting, because when we did it the first time round, we did it for Cross Stitch Guild members, and it was done as a little box of seeds. So it was in my greenhouse photograph with seeds in
Yes,
it.
yeah.
And we had a deluge of, are you doing the accessories to go with it? So they were done separately later. So it's interesting that you should say that.
But I'm just saying that if you were to buy, if you did a kit for just the tape measure, if you did a kit just for the needle case,
yes, of
it would
course.
come to way more than £60.
Yes, of course it would.
You know
Of
what I
course it
mean?
would.
And you're getting...
I'll put it there with its
like we say,
original.
all you need is some card.
Yes,
That's all you
yes.
need. And then everything else in there.
Yes.
Beautiful,
And I mean,
isn't
it did work very, very well.
Yes.
And I know it's been much loved. I've seen lots finished. That's, it's funny, isn't it? I know what the thing's going to look like because I've obviously made one.
Yes.
And I know what I look like when I look at my charts on the screen.
Yeah.
It's still an enormous relief when someone else makes one and it looks like that.
Oh. Lynn says, looking forward to today. Think it's going to be fabulous. Jojo said, got my calico. Going to try and make a dress for my body. Oh, yes. Make a dress for your new mannequin. That's a good idea. Geraldine says, John and Jane, love your work, Jane. And you always look gorgeous to me, John. Does that mean I look rough today, then? Alice Marion, still not use my gold needles, Jane. They look so lovely in their box. Take them out. Take them out.
Use them,
She's on with me
use
on
them.
Tuesday, I think, Marion.
Yeah,
Alice,
use them,
Marion.
sweetie, use them.
Kaz says it's beautiful and great value for money. Donna says good morning and said, Chris says, I love the greenhouse set and I bought it. Oh, so has this been on before? She said, I bought it last time. It's worth every penny as the quality is superb, as are the instructions. What do you say, Kat?
Lovely.
Oh, it's not been on Sewing Street before? Not been
Might
on
have
Sewing
been
Street
on
before.
the
Unless
other-
you've
the other
got from the
channel.
Guild. Yeah.
All right.
We've had a picture from
Oh,
Caroline.
look, someone.
Good morning, John and Jane, my two favourite people. Aww.
Bless
I
you.
adore Jane and her gentle loveliness. Oh, if only you knew. Caroline, if
lovely?
only you knew. This is my current cross-stitch guild, project tweaked to personalise. Thank you both for the inspiration from Caroline.
Well done, darling. It's looking lovely.
But you know what? That looks vintage already, doesn't it?
It does.
Looks like a
It
family
does.
heirloom,
It's
doesn't
worked
it,
on.
already?
It's a band sampler that's worked on unbleached linen, and yes, bless her heart, that's lovely.
So
well
I wonder
done.
how she's personalised it. What she's
Something
done that's
different in the arch in the middle there.
Lovely.
But I never mind. I mean, it's lovely when people do their own thing.
Oh yeah, no, you don't mind that.
No,
do you?
and actually, if you think about it, with counted cross stitch, the fabric's empty.
Yes.
So there aren't any transfers that
No.
are going to spoil what you do. So you can do your own things. It's
Oh.
smashing. Well done.
Beautiful.
Loving it.
There it is again.
Well done.
Say that again, sorry. Oh, we're limited already. We're limited already on the greenhouse already. Oh,
It
right,
is
there's fewer than
lovely.
20 of those left. Fewer than 20 of those left. Right, okay. So, tulips next. Now, I've got something to tell you. I've only got one here, but we have got this available on both Ada and linen. At the moment, there's no picture on the website for linen, but it's exactly the same picture. Exactly the same picture.
Yes, it is.
Right, so
Same
I've
picture.
got Ada here, so this is the one I've got here. So Jane will explain to you in a minute about the difference between, if you don't know, between Ada and linen. But also, the finished picture comes out exactly the same, but it's just got, the ones you're seeing there are
On linen.
a linen background, those. So this is the kit here, it's called Botanical Tulip Duo. You obviously don't get the green frame behind. You're just making this bit in the
Yes,
middle here.
that's
but
just-
two different
yeah.
tulips.
That's a piece of board that I've covered with a piece of silk, actually.
There you go.
Which you could make very simply. You know, sometimes framing's quite costly, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yes,
You know,
yeah,
and if you can do your own thing.
Exactly.
So these are worked really because I love tulips, and I've got a big bunch of them now on my
Right.
kitchen table. I like them when they look like dolly mixtures. You get them with all the different colours.
It's really funny because Gerardine, who just sent in a message for my birthday last year, sent me some flowers and like a tin and like an old-fashioned tin jug.
Yes.
And I bought multicoloured tulips on my way home from Western Supermare yesterday. And I've just put them in
And
on
aren't
the
they
fireplace.
beautiful?
Oh, I love them. And I also love them. They start off this big.
Yes.
And you come down the next morning and they're that big.
I know,
and then
I
you
know.
come down the next morning and they've started going like that, haven't they? They go all over the place. You have to drink a lot of water, don't
They
they? So you have
do,
to keep
do.
topping them up.
So
So let's have a look at them
These are cross stitch and back stitch.
Right.
Nothing complicated. It could be a first project. If you've never stitched on from a chart before, you might choose the Ada version.
Yes.
And the reason for that is, John will show you in a minute if we can get close. The fabric, the Ada fabric, is woven so that you have got some scissors there. Yeah, I thought you had.
It's funny, I saw those scissors on the table earlier. I was like, what are they doing there?
The bags are sealed. We tease everybody and say it's elephant spit.
Yes.
But this was to stop people stealing from them in the days when we had things in shops.
Oh.
Long time ago now. Anyway, the fabric in John's version is the Ada version.
Yes.
And you can see the fabric is made up in squares.
Yeah.
So it's slightly easier to see. Now, I learnt to stitch on linen, not knowing there was any of this stuff about there. But you can see on the screen there, there's very definite squares. And each square on your chart is a square on the fabric. Yeah. So if you've never done it before, then that would be a good place to start.
Looks a little bit like Airtex. I know that's a brand name, we're not supposed to use it, but it looks like old Airtex t-shirts, doesn't it?
What you have to remember is that even if you work it on that fabric, it's not going to be any bigger than if you work it on the linen.
Right, okay.
Because on the linen we work over 2 fabric threads,
yeah.
And on the Ada we work over one of those boxes. So they turn out the same size, they look exactly the same.
So what you get, this is the Ada one. Have we still got the Ada one in the, oh no, you put linen in the graphics. But basically you get 2 pieces of either Ada or linen, whether you choose, they're on both sides, You get your chart, colour chart there, beautiful, upside down. Then you also get the instructions with the stitch detailing there. Yeah. You get a wrapped needle. Now this one, because there aren't lots of different colours, they're just knotted in the 2, but they're knotted, one's one and one's the other. That's that one and that's that one, to keep them separate.
Perfect.
Beautiful. They're really, really gorgeous, and that keeps the cost down for you because we haven't had to pay anybody.
The royal we hasn't had to sit there.
And what's this for? That's just in the bag with it. Was that just not supposed to be there?
I think it's pass.
Okay.
An outline colour. I can't quite see from here what colour it is, but I think it's just some backstitch colour used on both.
Right. Okay. And also, let me open. Am I allowed to open this one?
Of course.
Yes, because I just opened this one because the reason they're not on cards, this one is the purple tulip. There you go. Right, so look, you get the two knots there, but you'll be able to see the colours that you need. There's nothing too close to each other. No, so you know, because on the little greenhouse there were so many greens. There were like 10 different greens, weren't there? Whereas this, you can get to
there are 2 bundles because on your chart it'll have bundle 1 and bundle 2. That helps you sort them as well.
Oh, okay, perfect.
All right.
Yep.
Super.
So that's that one. That's beautiful. Oh, got a message off Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Here we go. Morning, both. I'm glad to. I'm sorry, I'm looking this way. I'm glad to see you both better. No, I'm not both better. I was
better, Jane.
I'm glad to see you better, Jane. John, did you know that tulips are the only flowers that keep growing once they're picked? Yes, Julie. In Surrey, I did know that. I did, and I think it's fantastic.
Amazing, amazing.
Oh, hang on. You got tulips where? Okay, so she got tulips still attached to the bulbs last year as a gift. That's nice. Oh, like this. These are attached to the bulb, look.
Yes, yeah. Like a botanical drawing, really.
And then you replant the bulbs and have you planted your camellia yet? Oh, I bought them a camellia when they moved in and they put it in a William Morris pot. That's really funny because, you know, my friend Liz, you know Liz, who works at publisher at the magazines and everything, she bought me a little tree a couple of years ago and I planted mine in a William Morris pot and it's just started. It's only about that big, but it's just started leafing up again. And I love spring because yesterday I went down a hedgerow that I've been driving past every day, and suddenly overnight it's covered in bright, you know, that very, very fresh, bright green leaves, and it was like, and it was beautiful and sunny yesterday.
Yes, I wore white trousers as
in the pouring rain.
Yeah, in the pouring rain.
Well,
gosh,
tomorrow night clocks go forward. Tomorrow night, don't forget.
Change the clocks.
Saturday night clocks go forward. Right, where am I going next then? Spring Shades Tile now.
This is this one.
Which is this is what it looks. Oh, that's what it looks like on the packet. $12.99. The finished thing. Now you obviously don't get the tile.
Don't get the frame. And this is quite complicated project. It's not a first project. It's deceptive. There's more to it than you'd imagine. Some of you will have seen our other seasons. There are 4 in the series.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of cross stitch on this, but there's a very small section here showing a little bit of hardang. Now, if you don't want to do that, you just don't want to do it for any reason, you can just leave that out and do something else.
Put
there.
small flowers in there.
Yes, or put your initial in or whatever. We're going to talk about hardanger in a minute, actually, because we've got a book to show you.
Yeah, of course.
There's a few extra stitches on this, but all the instructions are obviously included in the packet.
Yeah, just open it
Every
now.
single bit can be done from the charts that you're going to get. So yes, John's just doing the elephant spit job at the moment.
This is your first job when you get it home. Is opening the blooming packet, I tell you. So right now, this is on linen.
Yes, and it's only on linen.
Only available
because of
on
the
linen.
different stitches. You see.
You get the linen. You get 2 needles. You get all your sorted. Now there's your sorted colours.
That's it.
I know. Now £12.99. You're still getting sorted colours.
Yes.
Then there's this one, this variegated
that's
one.
for the hardanger.
Okay, so that one's
section.
separate. That's your hardanger one
That's
there.
for this little bit here where the holes are cut out.
And then this is the chart.
Lovely.
Gorgeous. And also, you don't have to put it, if you wanted your hardanger there and your flowers there, you can move things around,
Of course
couldn't
you
you,
can.
if you
Of
want
course
to?
you do your own thing.
And then all the instructions that you need. Stitch directory. That's your hardanger, which we'll talk about in a little while, because some people might not want to do the hardanger. If you do, good,
It's very
congratulations,
easy,
it's beautiful.
actually. It's very
Oh,
easy.
yes, but people are going to
get
be
nervous.
because you have to cut the fabric,
Yes.
don't you, and everything. So that's £12.99. That's beautiful. Can we just cut? Oh, there's the chart there. So we've got a pansy, we've got butterflies, we've got a wasp. Is that a wasp? You've got a
Beetly
I want to call it
thing.
a snowdrop. It's not a snowdrop, is it?
I don't know what.
Oh, it might be
yes,
spring.
there is a
Might be.
snowdrop. Yes, spring. That's right. Excuse me, I must
So
get
that's
my
a snowflake in the corner there. Anyway, it's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. All that for £12.99. Only available on linen, that one, though. But you do get again, you don't need anything else. So many hobbies, like if you take up sewing for the first time, you have to buy a sewing machine. You have to buy, for cross-stitch, if this was your, we're saying it might be a little bit difficult for you for your first one.
I wouldn't do it as my first
No,
one.
but
Second, would be all right.
but it's all in there. You don't have to invest in anything.
No.
Your time, but then that's also your pleasure, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything you need is in there.
Everything's there. And the free phone number's on the thread card, so if anything goes horribly wrong, you can just pick the phone up and ring for help.
Is that your house then?
No.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It's the office. Used to be my house, and I'd get phone calls at 3 in the morning.
Yes. Oh well, it's funny because the show that the John Scott show that you came on, there was no phone number. I couldn't find a phone number on the website. The amount of people who found it would ring Richard in the middle of the night, going, "I can't quite log on at the moment." And he'd be like, "Have you got my phone?" Richard was the director. God, have you got my phone number? But it's obviously there somewhere. This is the first time we've shown this one on air here at Sewing Street. So if you've not, you might. Did you say have we done the summer and the
I think we
autumn?
might have done the winter one.
Oh, winter.
You see, we might have just done winter.
Oh yeah, we do, because then this will be spring, and then you'll come back and do summer in a few weeks'
Exactly.
time. £12.99. Beautiful, isn't it? Jane is going to do some demoing later as well, but I just want you to do everything. So you want to do what next? The hardanger book next, then?
Right.
I haven't got this here on my side.
Right, here we are. So we launched this on Sewing Quarter with you.
Yeah.
When it first came out. They're all signed by herself. And the point of this, I'm just turning some pages for you quickly. There's a bit of history in here.
Just move it to the right for me a little bit, please, Jane.
There you go. There's some history of what hardanger is and where it comes from, and then what you need. But I want to get to the pictures, if you just bear with me. So what we did was, because my first book on hardanger was called Hardanger for the Horrified.
Right.
And that was because people said, you do all that embroidery and then you cut the fabric. No, thank you. So this was to show how simple it was. So we've done the cluster blocks individually to show you, with a photograph to show what they look like. And ditto the second one and show you. So the first thing you do when you get this book is you work this little section that I'm showing you now, which is really hand-holding. It shows you the back, it shows you the front, and then it shows you how the threads are cut. And then this little thing here that I'm pointing to now is what you turn your test piece into.
Oh, okay.
So if you've worked that little test piece with me, you can then make that up and hang it on your scissors. So that's the first thing. And then all these other projects are included in the book as well.
Isn't one of them, I haven't got the book here, isn't one of the first projects a sweetie bag? Or was that a bit later on?
Oh,
later on.
Yes, the first thing you do is a scissor keeper. There it is.
Oh, okay.
There's
oh,
the
yes,
first
that's
little
right. I
scissor
remember
keeper.
now, yeah.
So you can make that very simply in an evening, having never done hardhanger before.
Right.
I know this is true.
Yes.
I remember my first hardhanger lesson. I remember doing it the first time without supervision, and being naturally mean, said, I'm not wasting all that thread. I'm going to do it this way. And of course it fell apart.
Of course.
Because it was wrong.
Yeah.
So this is
stick to the rules. The rules are there for a reason.
All you've got to do is count to 4.
Yeah.
So this is the little hardhanger book. We're thrilled with it. It's been very, very successful.
I was going to say we've sold hundreds
and hundreds. We've reprinted 4 times.
Well,
so very happy
already?
with that. Already.
Because if you think it wasn't actually that long ago,
No,
it must have been a year.
no.
Well, with Stone Street's been open a year, so it must have been like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and then.
That we actually started it.
But that's very unusual for you to going to print 4 times.
I know.
Within 2 years.
I know.
Isn't it?
We were really thrilled with it. So this is published by the Cross Stitch Guild.
Right.
And it's our own. It means that the publishers don't want to do niche publishing generally.
Yes.
And so a lot of my books have been published by David and Charles over the years, you know. But this one we did ourselves.
Fantastic. Lots of work goes into it then.
A lot of work goes into it. And it's lie flat so that you can work from it, you know. It's got a white clean cover. What else can I tell you?
No, I know. I tell you what you need to say is what we got a report back from the office this week about how many new customers we get every day. So could you just explain? You were the cross stitch. Can you just explain the history of why you're standing here talking about Cross Stitch Guild?
Yes. Okay. So 25 years ago, last week or the week before, to be exact, we launched the Cross Stitch Guild at Longleat, and the Marquis of Bath came to the launch and put his arms around me.
Oh yes, when we were allowed to put our arms around people.
Well, in the days when we still could. That was 25 years ago. And so the Guild has been formed. It was formed because, well, I'd thought about it for some time beforehand. And then a member of the public came up to me at an exhibition in tears, very upset. The stand was heaving with people, and I took her on one side and said, what is the matter? Are you all right? And she said, I've just been onto the so-and-so stand. And they told me my cross stitch isn't real embroidery. And I was absolutely incandescent. I went to go and deal with those people like this. And Bill grabbed me by the collar and said, find another way of dealing with it.
Yes.
So we launched the Cross Stitch Guild as a result. That was the final straw, really. And so we've been in existence, I say the royal we, and nearly 4 years ago, I handed the reins over to Andrea Thompson, who is the chairman now. And I'm working as the designer.
So you're still very, very heavily involved, but you're not sitting at home in your studio putting threads on cards and things.
No, my husband isn't sitting putting threads on cards in front of the cricket. No, and I mean, and I'm not packing. No. I go to the shows, but the deal was when Andrea took over, I don't set up a show and I don't break one down.
But you turn up and
but
you arrive.
I always wanted to turn up to a show with a little handbag with lipstick in it. You know, and always turned up with a lorry.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Now I turn up with a little handbag. No, so I'm the designer still.
Yes.
And it's full time, really.
Are you the only designer, or do they have other people
We
doing
do ask other people to contribute. We don't get as much contribution yet. It's something we have to work towards.
Oh, yes.
Because actually, you know, there may come a point when I do want to retire.
Well, actually, because you told Bill that you were going to retire.
I told him I was going to retire 4 years ago.
Yes.
And there have been some frank and meaningful discussions
And
since
you
then.
are on a Friday morning at 6:30 in the morning.
And I was in my office till midnight last night.
I don't know how you do that. I have to be in bed. If I'm coming in here, if I'm not in bed by 8:30, that's me done for.
Actually, I'm telling fibs. I was in bed last night, but I was up till 1:20 the day before. Because I'd got something I wanted to finish.
Yeah.
And I love it up there. And I have audio stories on the radio or whatever. And I don't have a big space now. I used to have a great big space, but obviously everything moved when the Guild moved.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all very exciting.
So that's what I just wanted you to explain why are you here? Are you Cross Stitch Guild? Are you not Cross Stitch Guild? It was your baby, which you've now passed over the reins to Andrea, and you still design for them and have a lot of input in them. But it's Andrea's.
It's Andrea's baby.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm designing all the time. I'm actually working on something. If you've liked the greenhouse, everybody, I think you'll really like what's coming. And I don't know when it's coming. I'm doing Claude Monet's house, with all the Claude Monet's house with the shutters on it, and the accessories will all be
supposed to be telling us
flowers.
that?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I'm stitching this weekend.
Oh, you see, the thing is, you're doing. I always say that if you find a job that you love doing, it's not like doing a job, is it? Basically.
Yes, it would. Yes. I mean, it isn't a job, is it?
Eileen says, I've got my gold. I love my gold needles.
Oh,
I'm
good girl.
working the linen Dutch sampler. First time doing a large project on linen. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you, Jane.
Well done. You won't change once you've got the hang of it.
Chris, Kat says she's very sorry. Kirsty says, morning, John and Jane. Cross stitch was my first sewing. Now, does that meant say discipline? I learned it at primary school when I was 4.
Well
I've been doing it for over 45 years now. I've done other crafts, but always come back to it. Susan says, good morning, John and Jane, late up this morning. Margaret says, Jane, I see Jane has got you working this morning. Good work, Jane. Loving the shirt, John. Thank you. John and Jane, I bought the Christmas Watt bows in linen by mistake, but I'm going to give them a go.
Good
Currently
girl.
working on the Robin pin cushion.
Good.
John, if you put a pinhole at the top of the stem of your tulips, it stops them from drooping. Oh, but I quite like them. I quite like them doing that drooping.
Do you know, I like them looking sort of old and slightly tatty.
Well, I wonder why that is.
What can I say?
Message from Katharine. Morning, John and Jane. I have one of Jane's signed books my late mother-in-law bought for me to get me started 30 years ago. Is it done in manuscript, in ink, in manuscript?
When I'm back on again in about an hour or something, you can have a look at my antique style sampler book, which was my anniversary of 30 years in the needlework trade.
Wow!
And I didn't start to do this, you know. I was a nurse.
Yes.
I expected to go back to nursing after my son was grown up, you know. But anyway.
Well, it's obviously not grown up yet.
No,
You've still got time to get back
BC,
to
before
nursing.
cross stitch, we call it.
Oh, right. Where are we going to next then, Kat? Spring Watt bow, please. Next. So this is a Spring Watt bow scissor keep. This sweet little scissor keep is a three-sided. It's three-sided. It has a different pattern on each side. The pack includes 28 count linen, stranded cottings, wrap needle, charts, instructions, and scissors. Now, there's not the green scissors when you get the gold coloured. £15. Right. First of all, how much would you pay
10
for a decent pair of scissors?
I should think they're about £10.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, because I don't know, but they're Italian, so they would be.
So now, this linen looks a little bit of a different colour to the linen we've had before.
Yes.
This looks like an antique colour.
Yes, antique white.
Oh, hang on, you've got white. I've got like a brownie colour in mine.
They do vary a bit.
Okay.
That's washed, unbleached.
Right.
And it depends how washed it is.
Right.
There's no doubt they vary enormously.
Yeah. So
yes,
what
isn't it
is
sweet?
a Watt bow?
Well, the Watt bow started by accident because I was at the night market in Siem Reap in
yes.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
And it was cross-stitch wall to wall, everywhere. Everywhere was cross-stitch. On pleated skirts, on jumpers, on hats, on everything. And I was a gibbering wreck. I couldn't buy anything because where do you stop?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I did pick up a little woven keyring, which was three-sided, but I didn't know it was three-sided. I stood there going, right, how many sides has it got? This is quite interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, like that.
Yeah.
And didn't know what to call it because I thought it was a nice shape. And then next to where I was standing was the Watt bow temple, which had a three-sided decoration on the top. So that's where the name came from.
Okay, so it's not a traditional name. It's a name you've given it.
It's a name we've given it, and it's a three-sided scissor keeper. Our tree decorations are the same size. The lady who mentioned them just now, she's working a smaller version of these scissor tree. It's got some little French knots on it.
But you don't make 3 triangles, do you?
You just work 3 in a row. Scissors, elephant spit. Yes.
And you're by folding. Let me just show you.
It's three squares in a row, and you just stitch them in the middle of the fabric. And
Sorry, I've opened every single packet this morning.
That's absolutely fine. People want to see what's what.
There you go. So that's what you actually stitch, isn't it? You just
exactly.
stitch 3 squares in a row.
Exactly.
No triangles or anything.
No,
You sew 3 of those in a row, and then
it shows you how to fold it.
There you go. And you even get a card in here, so you can card your own colours if you wanted to. There's your stitch directory. There's actually now I've got out. It's pale, and I've got out. Maybe the desk can do it. But you get your washed unbleached.
Washed unbleached.
Washed
Cashel.
unbleached.
It's 28 count linen.
Gorgeous colours.
Lovely
beautiful colours. And your scissors and your cover.
There you go, look.
All for £15.
Isn't it smashing?
Oh, got a question for you, quickly.
Go on then.
Oh, hang on. It's not on the bottom. Do you have a sampler that a 10-year-old can do?
Do I have a sampler? Well, the answer is yes, because my sampler collection from 1732 to 1807 were all done by a child under 10. Now, having said that, obviously, it takes a little bit of practice. I think that something on the Ada fabric would be ideal.
Right.
There's no reason why a 10-year-old couldn't work something on Ada fabric. You'd have to look at the Cross Stitch Girl website.
Oh, we might have some Ada. We might have some Ada ones on. I mean, I'm not trying to take the way from Cross Stitch.
No. If you go, there's lots of Cross Stitch Girl stuff on this website, not just what you've seen today.
Yes.
And if you have a trawl through now, while we're on air, you'll see there's, I mean, I looked through last night before I came on air to see if this was up yet. You know,
yes.
And there's lots there that...
Maybe in the next hour, if you can watch in the next hour, we'll get Kat to get the page up of the Cross Stitch Guild, and we can see which ones might be the best.
Yeah, I'll
Would
have
that
a
be
look
all
and
right,
see
Kat?
for the next hour.
Yeah,
so if you look later...
Yeah, something else to do, she says. That sounds fabulous, Jane. I'd love the new one when it's done. Oh, that's obviously the one with the
shutters, yes.
Yep. Just a few things I need to try. Oh, so many people loving the show. Right, okay, and then I've only got... Oh, no, there's two things left. Where are we going next? I've got two things and you've got one thing. But here's my precious needles.
Oh, that's this one. Now, I've got with me something to show you, which might have to be in the next hour.
Oh, okay.
To do with this.
Oh, yes.
Right, so this is actually like a little sampler. If I turn it over.
Oh, there we go.
If you could imagine, let me get it that way up, I think. You can see that just about, can't you?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so this started as a little sampler, and then I changed my mind. This is the other thing you can do with cross stitch, is you can suddenly realise you can turn it into something else. So there's a little house. Now this is an interesting one for two reasons really. One is it's worked on linen, not on Ada.
Right.
So it's on 28 count linen on the front, and it's got a slightly bigger count inside as the lining.
Right.
There's some interesting stitching here, which you couldn't work on the Ada material.
Right.
So this is not a first project. This is something where you've worked from a chart before. And if you look at this, the ABC bit where my fingers are now, if you can get in a little closer.
Oh,
you'll see
directing from the floor.
Directing, sorry about that everybody, I'm getting, right. If you look, the house is worked over two threads, just like we were describing just now, but the alphabet letters are worked over just one. So that's the advantage of linen, is you've got two areas. You can make,
I see.
These are normal size letters, but they're just worked over one thread.
Okay,
you see the difference?
Yeah. So if you just look at what I've got here, then so you've got darker linen, paler linen. So the paler's for the inside.
Yes.
So. Then you've got your what's in there? Little button in there. Then you've got your now one of these threads looks like it's gold.
Yes.
Then you've got your picture. Then you've got thorough instructions with all of your photographs, instructions, everything you need, how to do it. Stitch guide.
Yes. Lovely.
There's so much. Look at for 1990. Oh, an empty page.
Yeah.
There you go. There's that one. But then you've also got your stitch chart here. Now, you've got JMG on this one.
Yes.
You don't have to have JMG.
No,
You don't want to, do you?
No, absolutely. Put your own.
So you've got the house here.
Yeah.
Then you've got like a little fireplace with a heart in it. I don't know what that's meant to be. What is it?
Well, it's just a little band sampler, really.
What's your middle name? They're asking in the gallery.
Michelle.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Jane Michelle.
Jane Michelle.
I was called Jane after Jane Russell.
Oh, were you?
I've no idea who Michelle was.
No.
Never asked him.
Never mind. And then, but it's beautiful. You get all that. Now, how many have left? Did you say, Kat? Sorry. Okay, fewer than 15 of these left already. So please be careful. Please be careful. £19.99. You get all of that.
This one has got what I call a folded hem around the edge.
Oh,
Can you see here? This hem, this decorative hem. So when I come back...
Hang on, we'll just come in there. Yeah,
sorry.
there you go.
Yeah, I always do this. I get too far ahead. I get enthusiastic.
Yes, exactly.
And rush off. Right, so this hem is part of the project. Don't have to do it if you don't want to. You could do something else. You could do a machined hem, whatever you fancied. But if you're going to use it as a needle book, this is a really effective way of finishing it. And I'm going to show you part of the technique. It might be in the next hour.
It will
now.
be in the next hour, because
I'll
we've
do
got a
it,
couple
yeah.
minutes left of this
I've
one.
got
So
a
in the
little-
next hour, we'll
I'll
come
just
back
show you
with
just
beginners
quickly.
and that hem.
Yeah, just to show you how you fold it, because that's the absolute secret of it, all right?
Perfect.
So I'm going to put that with my stitching and show you later.
Do that later. Right, I've got one of Jane's. Now, this is totally and utterly exclusive to us, isn't it? Oh, it's been flying out on the... I'll put it on the box there. It's been flying out on the... pre-order, thank you. I couldn't think. I was going to say the internet, and I was like, I know that's not right. That's not right. On pre-order, right? It's been flying out. It's totally nothing. Now, whenever we bring you a new one of these, they always sell out. They always go. We always say to Jane, "Oh, can we have more? Can we have more? Can we have more?"
Have you got any pins? Because I can send you stuff.
We're not allowed to touch the same thing, though. That's the problem.
Can you find a needle out of one of those other kits?
Oh
there?
yes, of course.
Grab it. There must be something somewhere. There you go.
There you go. So look, it's a magnetic. Look.
Aren't they brilliant?
Oh, it's magnetic. There you go.
They're made of. They're pretending to be mahogany.
But they're not.
They're not. They're made from resin. They're made in the UK, in Gloucestershire, to one of my designs from the past. You've seen some of our animals before, I know.
Yeah.
They're absolutely brilliant. I have the entire collection on my window ledge in my workroom.
So, but look at. I don't know if you can see that, but
The detail.
it's got it. This actually feels like it feels like a buttonhole thread. You know, like thick buttonhole thread. That's what this bit feels like here.
Isn't it clever? So they're made out of resin, and the magnets are The magnets are fearsome. I mean, I know how strong
the magnet's inside, though, isn't it?
Yes, embedded. You can't get at it.
No, so you can throw your needles to that.
I do throw mine. You know, when I'm working, I'm this sort of thing's going on all the time.
Yeah, better than keep them in your shirt, isn't it, Jane?
Well, it's naughty. I mean, a lady was x-rayed and there was one in her breast. And that had been in her jumper. And I'm always saying to people, jumpers and arms of chairs. So as you stand up, you put your hand on.
Whoa. Right,
Mustn't do it, naughty.
$10.99, please be careful. Half the stock's gone already. And we got lots of these. Half the stock's gone.
No, they're lovely. Just dust them with a duster. Don't use polish on them. I mean, they're made of resin, as I said, and then stained. And if you get a little chip, something like what do you call the black markers?
It's for Sharpie.
Exactly.
Where others are available.
A little Sharpie, just dotted on and rubbed. If you get a white chip, because they are white inside.
Right.
Oh, and you've got the gold needles. Oh, you've got the starter set.
Oh, now hang on. I think I've got the wrong ones here. Which ones am I meant to have, Kat? And what's in it? Oh, it is this one.
Yes.
I thought for some reason I had the one with all the different needles in.
So this was really what we started as a starter set for you new stitchers. And so you get a pair of Italian scissors and 4 cross-stitch needles. And these are our gold-plated ones that if you manage to strip the gold off and you can prove where you bought them from, we'll replace them for you.
But you won't, because they've got two microns
of gold,
the same
yes.
as the detonator in a grenade from the Ministry of Defence.
Exactly. And it was an accident. It wasn't actually deliberate. But I didn't know at the time that was a lot of gold.
So, sorry, what needles do you get in there? I think it does say yes, that's there, look.
So 24s and 26s.
Oh, no, that's an address. That's the address of the...
Yes.
Oh, I see, the box is upside down. That's why it was confusing.
Yes, it's 24s and 26s.
24s and 26s.
Perfect for anything we've talked about today. You don't need anything finer or anything larger. All right.
Okay, perfect. Right, now, Kat, did you reply to... Yeah, you've come up as Hayley Bryant. Look, so Kat, she does apologise. It has been on the system before. We just didn't realise. Lucy says, morning to you both. I have some of Jane's threads I bought from Sewing Quarter. Oh, yes. Will you be bringing the threads to Sewing Street? Remember we had those lovely threads that you brought? Will you be bringing that? Just a question. You don't have to answer.
Okay.
They're lovely to sew with, though. That's from Lucy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that's $14.99. Right, I've got one more thing, and that's a book.
Yes.
Which I haven't got here. You have to
Now, I'll have to tell you that you have all of the books we've got left.
Oh, really?
It's being reprinted.
Yeah.
It is being reprinted, but I'm not exactly certain when. We're just going through. Whenever a book's reprinted, I just read through it really carefully again, just in case there's anything.
Yes.
And I want to improve one diagram.
Right.
As it's going to be reprinted.
Yes.
So whatever there is in the warehouse is what there is, at least
In the world?
In the world until the end of next month, I should think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this started really as an accident of fate. I have signed them all.
Oh, yeah? Can you move it to the right a little bit for me?
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
There you go.
Go back, because we missed your signature.
Right, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Ta-da! So this was started because my cross-stitches Bible, which we're going to mention in the next hour, went out of print for some time, and I found it irritating because I knew I needed occasionally to go to a book to refer to it. So this was really a book that is a stitch book, exactly what it says on the tin. So you've got a stitch and a description in alphabetical order. And over the period, this is the 4th edition, so the 4th version, and it's been reprinted. This will be the 3rd time. And that's where members have said to us, can't you add next time how to put a Watbow together? Or how to make a biscuit, which we're going to look at in the next hour. How to make a humbug. A bit about mounting and stretching. This is a needle, this is a life-size drawing of the sorts of needles you get in one of our gold sets. So when they all get muddled up, which they will,
yes,
you can lay them on top and check what's
that's
what.
fantastic. Yeah, because the other set we do, which I'm sure must be on the website unless they've sold out, is you get lots and lots of different sizes.
11 needles,
yeah,
different sizes.
If you don't keep them in order in the box, if you use them, put them down, you never guess where they're going to go. That's a brilliant idea. That just
really is useful. I certainly end up, I have a magnetic needle case with all sorts in it.
Yeah.
And obviously I never know which is which.
No, of course.
So this is the stitch book. It lies flat, so when you're working from it, and I mean, last time I was on air, somebody wanted to know how to do the cut hem.
Yes.
And I can remember standing here going, right, okay, I can show you in a minute, trying to remember which way I start doing it.
And yet you've done it for 100 years. Almost.
Well, 30.
Yes.
So yes, this is very, very useful.
And lots and lots of people buy that. Obviously, because hundreds are gone.
When they're gone for the moment.
For the moment.
As I said,
we've got fewer than 20 of those. I've just got to do a quick roundup because the greenhouse, we're in single figures for the greenhouse now. So that's here. Now, I know you're thinking £60, £6, but you do get the greenhouse, you do get the needle case, you do get the Watbow, you even get the tape measure to go into the retractable tape measure cover. What's the one with the little fork and the trowel on? What's that? What's the little...
hang on.
And you get the scissors, and you get to make the scissor keeper. Everything, the only thing you need to add to this is a bit of cardboard.
It's just a little pin keep.
Oh, it's a little pin keeper.
Just got pins around the edge.
Beautiful. So there's that... Less than 10 of those now, single figures of those. What else would you like to recap? The folded needle keeper. Less than 10 of those now as well. That was brand new today as well. We didn't say that, did we? That was brand new today. There it is.
Yes, and that's the one I'm going to show you a little bit of stitching when I come back.
In the next hour, next time. Beautiful. Okay, right, we're going to go now because Katharine's waiting to come on. We are doing Katharine's wrap apron. Oh, see? And we've got a lovely little film for when it. We'll show you that later. 11 o'clock. Katharine's 11 o'clock is now going on to pre-order. And Jane will be back in an hour's time with more goodies and she'll do some sewing. All right, we'll see you then. See you in 3 minutes.
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task. And sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
If you're a Sewing Street or Yarn Lane customer, no matter how many times you check out in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. So don't wait to add the item you want to your basket and check out. You will only pay one P&P even if you check out multiple times in one day.
Hi, I'm Wendy Orlando and I'm a craft blogger. You can find me over at thecraftyco.com, and if you do head on over and have a peep, you will see that I'm a tutorial blogger. I do all kinds of crafts, but my passions are crochet, knitting and sewing, which I've done for over 45 years. In that time, I've made lots of mistakes, but I have learnt lots of tricks and top tips that I can't wait to share. What I'd like to bring to the Sewing Street table is to show that you don't need to have gone to university or have a degree in design to be able to sew. You just need passion, a bit of courage to take the first steps, and a whole lot of patience. Oh, and an unpicker. You will need an unpicker. I do hope that you will follow me as I take my Sewing Street journey, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Missed the live show? Don't worry, we recorded it for you. Never miss out on your favourite presenters, guests and makes ever again. Head on over to our YouTube pages to watch back the day's live show and enjoy your favourite demos over and over again. We also have lots of great content exclusive to our YouTube pages, such as product demonstrations, troubleshooting videos, and so much more. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a show or video ever again.
Elliot's obviously offended by my hair because he keeps saying, when's your hair appointment? But on the day they announced it was going to be, I went on the website and already the whole of the first week was booked. So I got the following Monday, April the 19th, my mind cut. But Jane likes my hair like this. Jane thinks my hair's lovely like this. I don't look like a poodle. Thank you. Right. Katharine's here, and we're going to make a linen apron today. So we're not making it out of linen, we're making it out of cotton canvas, actually. But let me show you what's available, then we can go to Katharine and do some sewing. So this is the pattern here. It's £14.99. It's one of Katharine's very own patterns, and it is the linen apron pattern. Sizes 8 to 22, easy to follow instructions, and beginner level skills. I'll just turn it over, see what's on the other side. Oh, there's another picture of it on the other side. Small, medium and large. Instruction book. What you need is 2 meters of linen, denim or cotton canvas. Oh, there she is. Little twirl wearing it there. So that one that Katharine's already made is out of the pink linen fabric we've got, but we're going to be demoing out some new cotton canvases today. So I'll do that first before I go to that pattern. So the pink cotton. So now these are already put into. So when you buy this, you're right. Right, let me start again. When you buy on the web, you just buy one unit because we've already put it into 2 meter pieces. So you don't need thinking, oh, 2 meters, that's 4 units. This comes as a 2 meter piece. That's the pale pink there. £22. Now, the thing is, the reason we do it like this is some people will already have their own fabric, so they'll want to have the pattern to do that. But other people look at it and go, oh, that'll make a lovely skirt. Do you know what I mean? So that it's available to everybody. You get 2 meters. Now, if you buy 2 of them, they don't come joined together. You will get 2. They're already cut into 2 meter pieces. So if you're thinking, oh, I need 4 meters of that, you will get 2 pieces, 2 meters each. Now, it's lovely and wide. It's got gorgeous texture to it. There you go, look, it's got beautiful, right? Look. There you go. It's beautiful, such a soft, Lovely. You know, if you make a strawberry ice cream, that sort of colour, it's lovely, isn't it? Okay, thank you. Strawberry milkshake, says Elliot, from a famous drive-through that's across the road from us here. Is it still drive-through? Are you allowed to go in yet? I don't know. Oh, you can go in, apparently. Right, we also have it in like a, do they call it ecru or beige? Oh, it's definitely not cream. That is definitely not cream. If you're ordering it, this is the one you'll get, but it's definitely not cream. I call that ecru myself. It's beautiful, not saying that, but it's not. Cream is cream, isn't it? That's not cream. It's lovely, it feels gorgeous, but it sews up beautifully as well. Okay, so that's the cream one. Same again, 2 metre bundle. This is the denim, this is dark blue denim. Now, this will be interesting to see what it says on the graphics. Oh, they have it's because it's a different bundle, right? They normally put it's 8 ounces. It's not 8 ounces. It's not 8 ounce denim, this. Okay, so it's dark blue. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading here. I know you hate it when we look away from here, but I have to look here to read it. Dark blue, wash denim, cotton, linen apron. It's because the pattern is called the linen apron. They put that in the graphics. This is actual, your proper denim. 2 meters of denim. It's lovely, isn't it? I love it. Gorgeous. Do you know what? I'd get that and then I'd do top stitching in like the, you know, the orange that our jeans are top stitched in, things like that. That's what I do. Now, I've got 2. Now, these are brand new to me. I don't know if they're brand new to us. I've never seen these before. Now, personally, I would wash it first because it has got a bit of a dressing in. Katharine went, wash it? Wash it? Like that. So this 2 metre piece is £14.99. They've called it khaki cotton canvas, obviously linen apron because that's the name of the pattern. But this is the one you're going to be seeing made up. So you'll be able to see how that's made up. I would definitely wash it first, but when I trained, we used to wash everything first. But you might want to wash it afterwards, and then it'll give it that kind of used look, won't it? Worn-in look. Now, what colour have they called this? Oh, they've called it Copen. Copen blue. Again, it's a 2 metre bundle. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. £14.99 for 2 metres. I know, lovely cotton canvas. How wide is it? Let's have a look. Because the cotton canvases are normally oh, yes, here we go. There you go. Is it 55 inches? I think that's a 55-inch one, that one. Beautiful. Copen. I'll fold that in a minute. I know the other day I didn't fold it. Everyone rang in complaining. I hadn't folded it. I will fold it, but I want Katharine to come with it. Oh, half the stock of that Copen's in baskets already. Now, last time we had this skirt pattern on. We're not making this hour. I'll show you Katharine swirling it in a minute. But last time we had this, I was on with you, wasn't I? It sold out. It completely and utterly sold out, right? It's a fat quarter skirt pattern. You can alter it for children or for little girls or for grown-ups, right? You need 8 fat quarters.
For a child.
For the child.
12 for
Oh, you gave me the wrong information, Kat. Right, for those of you who've bought the fat quarter bundle from earlier, I need to explain something. You need 8 for a child, 12 for an adult. 12 for an adult, right? I'll tell you about it in a minute. £14.49 is the pattern. Right, 2 days ago, my early bird was a fat quarter bundle. You get 4 fat quarters for £3.99. I haven't got one here in the studio. We'll bring the graphics in and we'll show you the picture. You got a pink stripy with flowers, a pink spot, a green floral, and a pink floral, right? If you bought 3 of those, that'd be £12 for your fabric, wouldn't it? £12. We'll just get in the picture for you now. Here you go. Look. So you get the pink spot, the pink stripe, the pink ditzy, and the green floral, all for £3. There's no graphics in at the moment. £3.99. There you go. That's the early bird from the other day. Now, thousands have sold of those. We're down to the last 10% of those now. So I'm just saying, if you wanted to make that out of those, you could do. Right. Well, now I'm going to put you off because I'm going to be folding, but I'll let you get on with the stitching of thing. Hello. Welcome.
Good morning.
This is Katharine. Oh, there you go. There's Katharine spinning in the skirt. like Kylie.
Elliot had me twirling.
Twirling, I can hear him shouting
Whirling
at
like
you.
a dervish this morning.
Just as well he didn't ask you to twerk, isn't it, really? And
Yeah, I can't do that.
Right, so both these designs are your own patterns, aren't they?
They are,
Right.
yes.
So this apron, good for cooking, craft work, anything that you need to wear an apron
Absolutely,
for, really.
gardening. The denim one would be brilliant for gardening.
Oh, yeah,
nice and
totally,
hard
yeah.
wearing. Yeah. It wants to be a nice heavyweight fabric. So the cotton canvas, the linen, the denim works really, really
Yes.
well.
So don't try and make it out of a quilting cotton or anything like that.
No, it won't. It doesn't hang quite right somehow. You just need a little bit of extra
Yeah.
weight to it. Yeah. So yes, this is the cotton canvas one that I have cut out. Yes, I probably should have pre-washed it.
No, I don't think there's
well,
a should
I heard
have,
Wendy
but-
the other day. I happened to switch on, and Wendy was going, "Oh, you should always pre-wash your fabric." Do you know what? I never. I'm always too impatient. I just
Yeah,
want to
well,
get started.
I
just
think it
wanna cut
depends what
out.
it is, doesn't it? If you're
It
making
does.
something that's going to fit that, if you're making a tight bodice out of something and there's a possibility it's going to shrink, then you don't want to make a fitted
is true.
top and then to wash it and shrink it, sort of thing.
Yeah, but
this is
I'm
fine.
always keen to get on with the project and get it cut out. So I have cut my pieces out ready. There is a front. You cut that one on the fold, and you cut 2 backs. We've got 2 backs there and 2 pockets. So it's very simple.
Oh, okay.
5 pieces. And you can see that I have overlocked around all the edges as well. So the pattern suggests that you neaten everything first. I've
Right.
overlocked it because I'm lucky enough to have an overlocker. If you don't have an overlocker, you can zigzag it. If all else fails, you could pinking shear it.
Yes.
Just something to stop it fraying.
How much does the cotton canvas fray when you cut it?
Not very much at all, actually. And the linen as well didn't fray a huge amount, but because it's only a single hem on the apron, it's quite a small single hem, it's a good idea to neaten it all because you wouldn't want to put it together and then it start to fray.
No. And also you don't want to French seam it because it's going to be too heavy, isn't it? Really,
It
French
is,
seam?
because you're working with the heavier fabric, it only wants a small seam that isn't too bulky. So I have prepped all that and I've put 1 pocket on. So I'm going to show you how to do the other pocket and then we'll put the whole apron
Perfect.
together. So, let me see.
Is there a pattern piece for the pocket, or does it just tell you to cut a square out?
Yes, I will show you the pattern pieces. They're nice paper that you can
Proper,
reuse.
yeah.
That's your pocket one. There's nothing to stop you. Also, if you like a bigger pocket, I mean, they just fit my hands nicely, but if you want a bigger one, there's nothing to stop you making it bigger. Those 2 metre bundles, because they're nice wide fabric, there is plenty left over.
Oh, yeah, and also what Kat's saying is you could, if you wanted to, have one across.
You could do
big one
one of the
front
single
with-
ones where you just put,
Yeah.
especially if you were doing for gardening, they're really handy, aren't they,
Yeah.
for your trowel and everything.
Kat also just asked whether you'd make it out of the calico we had the early bird. I don't think I would, because I think it's just, if you got a heavier weight calico, then definitely, but not the weight of calico. There was nothing wrong with our weight of calico today, but I'd say it was too fine for this.
Yeah, it does work in calico, but the right
The
way.
heavier calico, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's get me. Oh, she's put
Oh,
it
hang on,
this.
there's
So
a
am I going
picture
to
of,
get
have you
it
got a
off?
brooch on?
I have
Oh, I
got a
love
brooch.
Catherine's brooch. Sorry, morning all just tuned in.
So this,
It's
yes,
on
there, just where is it? From a lovely lady. Her company is called Jazzy Menagerie. You can find her on Instagram.
Oh,
she makes
fantastic.
a lovely little lady. Just a small business.
Yeah,
But it's
now,
great, isn't it?
Got a picture from Wendy. Hi, John and Catherine. Recently made the apron to wear in my sewing room and another for in the garden. Love the pattern from Wendy.
Oh,
is
brilliant.
that in the same pink? Is that in the same pink?
I think because we have done
Oh, is
this
that
one
lavender?
before. Well, it was in a lavender. We did do it before, and there
Oh,
was a lavender.
there you go,
That
that'd
looks
be that
brilliant. Good fit.
Was it a cold day? Look, you've got your fleecy on. I'm still looking at the picture. Oh, she moved the pockets. Oh, so she can reach them a bit better. Well, that's what you're saying. Put them where you want to
Well,
put them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They're on the pattern. It does give you a marking thing. I mean, they are just at the bottom of my hands.
Yes,
but you can,
but
obviously,
but
but depending how big you are, you can move them up and down. Absolutely.
Lorraine booked her hair appointment 5 minutes after the announcement. Bernie says no erratic folding today. Angela says good morning, loving the shows today. Margaret seems to think this shirt makes me look slim. Thank you very much. Oh, I've said the Catherine's brooch. Margaret says, don't believe our weather this morning. 8 a.m, brilliant sunshine. Now we've got heavy rain, hailstones. Glad I can stay in and watch all of you. Lovely to see Jane and Catherine this morning. Looking forward to all the demos. Right, well, I'll let them get on. I'll shut up.
Okay. So your top of your pocket, you're going to fold down and press in place, and I'm going to top stitch along that
close to the edge, just to make it nice and neat. It's quite nice. You can follow the top of your overlocking stitching. I couldn't think of the word then, could I?
I could see, I'm thinking, I wonder where she's going with this. I can't help. I don't know where she's going. You could follow your dreams.
Yes. And then we're going to just press round the other 3 sides. So ever so easy patch pocket.
And how much are you folding over?
I'm only folding over about 1 centimetre. We're talking centimetre hems on all of this, just to stop it being too bulky. So your iron's so handy when you sew, because it just presses everything in place. Then you hardly need any pins, you see.
That iron, every time we have that iron in, it sells out.
It's a good iron.
Yeah.
It is a good iron.
Kat's got it at home, but it's still in the box. She's never opened the box.
Well, if Kat's like me, I don't really iron clothes, just my sewing.
Okay. Kat
So
just does
if
that
you're
iron thing.
feeling these corners are a little bit bulky,
Yeah.
you can unfold it like that, and you can just snip off the corner, and then it will fold back in, and there's less fabric there.
Brilliant.
So it's
Well, that's good, especially when you're top stitching round. If your machine struggles going through too many layers of fabric.
absolutely. So let's get the front of our apron. Now I've marked on, just through the pattern, I've marked on little dots of the corners with my friction pen, but you could use tailor's tacks, whatever your preferred method is. So we're just going to line the corners up and pin it on.
Someone's asked if it can be a dress. Well, I don't think, because it can only be an apron, really, can't it?
I'm going to say watch this space,
Oh,
because
okay.
everybody asks me that, and we're working on it. I've got the first draft of the
Prototype.
pattern. It's just, you know what, these things take a while to put together. Yeah. But yeah, and you'll be the first to know here at
Oh, there you go.
Street.
Val wants to know if we're doing the sparkly quilt today. Yes, we are. It's Catherine's next hour, so in
All
2
being
hours'
well.
time.
Okay, so just pin that on, and I'm going to just stitch around all 3 sides. You want to make sure with your pocket so that it's nice and strong. I tend to go right off the edge and reinforce here backwards and forwards. You could also sew a small little triangle so that when you put your hands in your pockets, it's really strong there. You're not going to pull it away.
Okay.
So we'll stitch that on. Find a little guide on your foot to line up with. There's a little sort of groove on this machine foot that you can line the edge of your fabric up with, so that your top stitching stays nice and neat.
Now, have you matched your thread, or are you doing a
Do you
contrast
know what?
thread?
No, I have matched my thread, because unbelievably there was exactly the right colour out the back there when I was threading the machine up.
We do have a lot of green and brown in a box for some reason out the back.
And you never normally need green and brown.
No,
but
it's
today
I
it
think
was
that's why we've got so
perfect.
much left over.
So I have matched today, but I do like a contrasting top stitch. I often do contrasting top stitching on things, and I think it, like you said, it would be lovely on the denim.
Just having a look, so we've got a Gutmann box here available this hour, but somebody sellotaped it together. Which fabric sold, did you say? Oh, the khakis. Now the khakis more overtaken the Copen now.
I made some dungarees, and they're black, and I top stitched in bright pink.
Oh,
on them all.
nice. Right, I'm just getting this out while Catherine's stitching that. We've got this lovely box of Gutmann threads here. Now, it is, well, not considered purchase, but it's $59.99. But wait till you see what you get. I'll get Elliot to go from the upstairs camp. Oh, he has to bring it over from the other side. Was that man yesterday not fitting a new one? Here he comes. Works out at £1.24 per spool. 100 metres on each spool. Now, remember, they're normally £1.80, £1.90, those spools, right? Look. Beautiful, aren't they? So...
Oh, Gutmann thread is nice.
Now, first of all, you do the black cotton canvas. That pink would look gorgeous, like you were saying, on the black cotton canvas there. But look, I think that's... Well, I've got the fabric here, haven't I? I could do this. I think that's the exact colour. Look. Always remember, when you're picking your thread, go one shade darker. See, I'd use that one. That's the one I'd use on there.
See, if you're going to contrast it, I'd use maybe an orange on
What's
it.
that funny noise?
That was the iron.
Oh.
Did something, don't know.
You'd use an orange. Oh, yes. Orange and khaki looks beautiful, doesn't it? Look. Hang on, we'll just show you the orange one. Let's go. Elliot wants to show you the lime green one. No, I wouldn't use the lime green one. It's not wrong, Elliot.
Or purple.
It's
Purple
not
and green
wrong.
would be
It's never
nice.
wrong with choices. You see, that works.
That's nice.
But I wouldn't put lime green on it, ever. Oh, hang on. Elliot wants to put grey on it. This one, that's not grey. This is grey here. Oh. Nah, I wouldn't do that either, Elliot. And if you've got the Copen, that's rather lovely, isn't it? If you're going to go perfect match. What would you do if you were doing contrast with blue?
A yellow.
Oh!
Yeah, I was going to say the yellow. Or even like that light turquoisey blue, just the aqua one.
The first one
No,
here.
the third one in.
Oh, third one in.
That I like.
Oh, we'd have to
not so
disagree
sure
on
about
that one. But this is the colour I want my front door. So I might be nicking that one. Yes. Right.
Right,
Anyway.
so what I've done, I'm now on the back pieces.
Yeah.
And I'm pressing in the longest edges. So this is your back, long back hem.
Okay.
Remember, because I was just about to do it the wrong way around, remember you've got to have one each way.
Oh,
so,
yes,
So
yeah.
make sure you've got them right around. You'll see on the picture there, this apron crosses over really well at the back. Because some
Oh, yeah, you got a
of
picture.
these style aprons, they're rounded and your bottom sticks out. But I like this one because
Yes, that's
it
why you
does
couldn't wear
cross
this
over.
as a skirt, because as you moved or bent over, it's
Yes,
going to
but
separate
it does.
them.
I mean, quite often I'll just put, leggings underneath
Mm.
it, leggings and a t-shirt. So it's almost a dress.
Almost there, almost there. The car key is lovely, says Pauline. Andy Lynn says, morning, John and Katharine. Nothing about sewing, just want to know where you get your iPad stand. Oh, me! I got it from the Long River. I was a bit shocked because the picture looked like it was going to be huge and this little box arrived. But yes, it's from the Long River. Pauline says, always thought this would be too long for me as I'm only 5 foot. Can I shorten it?
Easily. I'm only 5'3". It comes down to just below my knee. So, but yes, when you hem it, just chop a bit off.
Bernie says, great pattern this. Would lightweight linen be too light?
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it in a lightweight. I don't think it would have quite the same effect.
No, I
In a
agree.
way.
I agree totally. Donald says, morning, John and Katharine. Just tuned in. Love the shirt. Please, can you ask Katharine if she has a website or a YouTube channel we can follow? Donald and Sue in the Isle of Wight.
I haven't got it. Well, I haven't got a YouTube channel. I have got one set up, but there's nothing on it because I've never found time to do it. But I have got a website, Leicestershire Craft Centre, and Facebook and Instagram accounts under Leicestershire Craft Centre.
Thank you. And Margaret says, great things come in small packages. I am also 5 foot. Lo says, morning, only just managed to drag myself out of bed. Who ordered the rain? I know, such a shock after the beautiful day yesterday. That's all the messages, all the questions for now.
What's nice about this, if you're small, so this pattern's got 3 sizes in it, small, medium and large.
Right.
So I only wear a small one, but if you're larger, it goes up, I would say, easily to a size 22, if not a bit bigger.
Yeah. And how did you say you'd shorten it? Sorry, I missed that.
I would literally just shorten the hem.
Oh, just take it. So you want
Yeah.
6 inches short, just
Yeah,
take 6
just
inches
to
off
take
bottom.
just to
Okay.
take it off where you want it, so have it where you want it. And obviously, likewise, if you're very tall, I would add it on the hem. It's not a particularly full thing.
It's
They're
not- it's
quite
not
they're
going on
quite
an angle,
straight. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to lose this off the end of the table as it's disappearing down there. This is really nice to sew, this cotton canvas. It's lovely
Feels
to sew.
it, yeah. You see, I think this cotton canvas would be good for like say, dungarees, kiddies' clothes, because it's hard wearing and everything. Oh, has your thread run out?
I know, I thought it had come unthreaded, but it isn't. It's still
that's
there.
right then.
I'm just going a bit blind.
Morning all, watching this morning whilst waiting for the Gravesend ferry to go back home. Just taking my son for his first jab. Ah.
My hubby gets his jab on Monday.
Hey, what?
My hubby gets his jab on Monday.
I've had my first one, just waiting for my second one.
Were you well? Did you stay okay with it? So some people feel poorly, don't
Absolutely,
they?
absolutely.
Were fine.
I was a bit worried because I was having to drive to Weston-super-Mare the next morning. I had it done at 8 o'clock in the morning, and everyone was putting on Facebook, oh, take tomorrow off, don't do anything. My friend Francesca, who's the most hardy person ever, she was wiped out for 2 days in bed with it and everything. So all day I was thinking, oh, has it started? Has it started? Didn't. Then I went to bed and I woke myself. I didn't wake myself up. I woke up every half an hour going, oh, have the side effects kicked in? So the next morning, my only side effect was I was just exhausted because I kept waking myself up. Psychological mind,
I think it seems to affect people very, very differently.
Yes, oh no, completely. And then Francesca's doctor said to her, people who've had COVID react badly to the jab. But then other people who I know have had COVID said, no, I was absolutely fine. So I think it's whoever, whatever, like anything, we're all going to react differently to it.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're now going to put the side seams together. So it's right sides together. And make sure, remember this is going to cross over at the back, so make sure you get them. You're going to have one strap going up that way, and one the other way, like so. So you're going to see that crossover when you've got them right sides together. So we'll pin and sew down those. See, look how quickly it comes together.
Yeah, exactly. Right, 2 questions. Who was about the dog? Vivian said, is the cotton canvas heavy enough to make a cushion for my dog? Yes, it is. And it'd be lovely. The dog would love you of it. Oh, very limited on the car key, though, if you want the car key. Are there only 6 bundles of the car key left? This is the coupon that you're seeing here. This is the car key. Okay, and then the other question was, Brian, can you make a dress out of this denim fabric? Yes, you could. Yes, you could. But remember, you only got 2 meters, but it is wide. It is wide. Depends what kind of dress you're making, I suppose, but yes. Oh, car key sold out. Car key sold out.
It is a nice colour.
Yeah.
But actually, that blue's lovely. It's like, I'd call it an Air Force blue.
That's why I asked at the beginning of that, because I was like, oh, I'll call this Air Force blue, and thought I'll just, because it's not a copen, it is definitely Air Force blue. Copen graphics in on the other side, and then in an apron on this side. RAF, no, RAF, because my dad was in the RAF, that's why I was thinking of it. Yeah, his uniform's that colour. Oh, Bernie's got her second jab on April Fool's Day. Julie's had her jab on Wednesday. It wiped her out, but she's feeling much better today. Bernie says, thanks for answering. A heavy weight will be used. It will hang better. It will, definitely, Bernie, definitely. I think they also look nice now. I can't, like out of a flax, heavy flax fabric would be nice. Like a heavyweight kind of open weave fabric would be nice.
It just wants, whichever fabric you choose, just wants a little bit more weight than your traditional dressmaking fabric, doesn't it? Very good. They're very good for when you're sewing, because I'm always get covered in little bits of thread. Especially if you put the wrong trousers on, like corduroy. Corduroy's the worst.
Oh, yes. When I was at college, it was a long time ago, but corduroy was every pair of trousers you bought was corduroy, and I'd always go home covered in absolute threads. Absolutely covered in threads, even. All right, Elliot, you come out here and talk for 5 hours. See if you can do it properly. Yeah, I can't. They're just criticising me now. If Elliot came out here, you wouldn't even know. Unless you were from the black country, you wouldn't know what he was talking about. Yes, it is, Sue. It is easy enough for a beginner, this, definitely.
Very much a beginner project, yes. So we've got the side seams together.
Yeah.
You can see. So now we're going to hem round the nice curvy armhole pieces. So again, I'm just going to press it first because it holds it all in place.
Oh yeah, always
you don't
press
need
first,
as many
then you
pins.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to just press these seams open as well, just so they lie nice and flat. But because we've neatened it first, it does make it super nice and neat inside.
Yeah.
But again, I would neaten first and press flat, because if you sew them and then went to overlock them together, they'd be quite bulky.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're more advanced, What'd be quite nice as well, if you did a run and fell seam, like on a pair of jeans.
You could.
That'd be quite nice as well. But don't try that if you're just beginning, because I find those almost impossible, and I've been sewing for a million years. Someone said, have we got the ironing board in stock? We haven't. It's stuck in a container.
Oh, not in the Suez Canal.
Well, no, I said that. I said that, but it was before the Suez Canal thing happened. It's stuck in a container somewhere. They are on their way, but we... Oh, do you not know this? Right. Oh, yeah. Nobody here told me. I found out from the supplier. They are stuck in a container on their way here. It's not just us. It's everybody in Europe that's waiting for them to arrive. They just haven't arrived yet. Along with... There was something else that was in there. No. There's a different... I don't know if we're going to get this, but it's in the same container as lovely rotating cutting mats. Just so you know.
It was on the radio this morning, the Suez Canal thing. £7 billion worth of stuff each day is not getting
There's
through.
200 ships queuing up.
I know.
I've heard that on the radio, and now the ships are taking much longer routes.
They're starting to go around the Cape of Good Hope.
Because it'd be quicker.
3,500 miles more. We listened to the same programme on the way this morning.
Oh, there you go. Melanie says, can you ask Katharine, if you didn't want to use fat quarters for her skirt, how many metres would it take?
Yes, you can use just meterage, and I believe it's 2 metres
2 metres for a child, 3 metres for an adult. 2 metres for a child, 3 metres for an adult there.
It's got an inside and an outside, the fat quarter skirt. That's why it uses, because you can make it reversible.
So would you buy 1.5 metres of each if you wanted to reverse it?
Yeah, yes, you could have 2 different fabrics.
Yes, so if you had the yellow on the outside and the pink on the... And then, because you reverse it, you can have a pink skirt one day and a yellow skirt the next day.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I picked those 2 colours. Who said? Sue said, do you have to overlock the pieces beforehand?
You don't have to overlock it, but I would neaten it in some way. So if you don't overlock it, I would zigzag it, or I would pinking shear it. If you did a double hem, again, it would be very thick. Plus, the pattern only has a 1 centimetre seam allowance, which is quite small. Now, so you want to do some sort of neatening, I think.
When the neatening, the turning in you're doing now round, could you do it with a zigzag stitch so that you finish the raw edge of the fabric at the same time as stitching it down?
Well, yes, there's no reason why you couldn't. Absolutely. But obviously, you'd see the zigzagging then.
No.
It would become decorative, but that would be perfectly possible.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's the wrap skirt. If you're wondering why we were suddenly talking about the wrap skirt, we also have Katharine's fat quarter skirt pattern available. In what you get both sizes within the pattern for children or for adults. What size does it go up to?
Well, if you remember from the demo, you can make it as big as you like.
Oh, because you just keep adding more
panels. It's a panel and you just keep adding panels. So there was a demo of this, wasn't there?
Yeah, what day did we do it, Kat? Have you got that on your computer?
A few weeks ago, can't remember.
It was me and Katharine.
It was?
Hang on. 12th of February?
So not that long ago.
Well, it's over a month ago. What date are we on today then? 25th? 26th of March. Oh, April. 6 weeks ago. Blimey, where's that 6 weeks gone? That doesn't feel like 6 weeks ago.
No, it doesn't, does it? No.
Also, don't forget, you put your clocks forward tomorrow night. Not tonight, tomorrow night. I'll remind you, I'm on tomorrow. I'll remind you tomorrow.
Oh, so you lose an hour.
Yes.
You'll have to go to bed even earlier.
I know, and I'm in on the Sunday as well. So I'm in on Saturday and Sunday. I know.
Oh, my word. You're going to need the cucumber on your eyes for the little bags under your eyes.
I think I'm beyond the cucumber now. What's the matter, Kat? Oh, Kat thought she gained an hour.
No.
And I don't know why Hannah's getting all stressed about it. She has got to get up because it's Hannah on Sunday, isn't it? Oh, dear. Yeah.
So I'm just pressing the other armhole.
It's quite a deep armhole, though, isn't it?
Well, it is, yes.
Yeah.
But that's so you can get it on and off nice and easily. Now, I can't demo it because of my microphone, but I will explain how to get this on and off because Elliot was terribly confused.
Yeah, but
earlier.
It doesn't take much.
No. But so when you put it on, head first and then arms.
Right.
When you take it off, you take it off like a man takes off a jumper, like that over your shoulders and then over your head.
Okay.
That's the easiest way.
Well, how does a lady take off a jumper?
Well, I don't take them off like that. I take my arms out off like that.
Oh, do you?
But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah. I'm a bit funny, really.
Yeah. Right, I've only got 3 of the Copen canvas bundles left. That's it now. And how many in baskets? Oh, she can't see at the moment.
So we'll stitch down this side.
Is it Friday morning disco upstairs, do you think? They're having a roller disco up there today. They're not, obviously, because it's a warehouse and they're all being COVID safe, but it sounds like it. But apparently you can't hear that at home. Yeah. Well, yeah, they say we can't hear it at home, but last time Hayley rang in, she was like, what's that noise? Why are you making all that noise? Like, it's upstairs. It's the upstairs neighbours. Yeah, Hayley doesn't hear it because she's about a mile away. It's a nice easy curve that as well. You're not going to worry about
no, because it's quite shallow. You can see it's just pressed over really nicely. I haven't got to do any like clipping or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be more straightforward, really.
And your 2 metres, you said you have lots left over.
There was quite a bit left over.
Any size, yeah.
In any size, yeah.
Excuse
Absolutely.
me.
Okay, so we're on to just this top bit now. I'm just going to check how much I'm supposed to press down because I can't remember.
Oh, honestly, who wrote this pattern? Oh, actually, because you've got it out, can we just show us through the pattern? Because I didn't open mine, so...
You've got a nice little layout of your fabric, and then each step has got photographs to tell you what to do.
Brilliant.
It's a 2 centimetre hem along the front of the apron.
Okay.
Which I'm going to guess at.
Okay.
I always eyeball everything.
So that's your neck. That's where are you at the
moment?
So
this is your top edge.
Oh,
there.
okay, right, yes.
We're going to do that hem, put the straps on, and then do the bottom hem.
Oh, now you know the fat quarters that I told you about earlier. In comparison to how many we had, if we had the normal amount, we'd be saying now we're limited. We literally got about, I don't know what percent that is, 4% of the original stock now. If you do want them, they're $3.99, available on the web. Well, they're underneath us now, not in pre-order anymore, on the other side, the show deals.
So just one thing to say about that is when you've pressed it, you'll see because of the way it's cut, it doesn't go right to the edge, but I would stitch right to the edge because then it looks nice on the correct side. Otherwise, if you stop in the middle, it looks a bit funny.
Odd, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Right, let's just get this the right way around.
What size are you making?
This one was a medium I cut out. Right, let's just work out. So we've got to remember when we do this that we're crossing over.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Let's move this out of the way. It'll make it far easier. See what I'm up to. Because suddenly it's quite a big bit.
Right. Question from Donald and Sue. Are they allowed to make your patterns to sell?
It doesn't say you can't, actually.
Okay. So.
There isn't. So, and I believe there are some people out there that do.
What, would you make them and sell them?
I don't personally, but I have.
No, exactly. Yeah. The thing is, there is a thing called angel policy where some that you buy. In fact, we had one the day before yesterday when I was and you can make it yourself, but you couldn't sell it on. But whereas other people say, oh yes, it's absolutely fine, doesn't bother me at all. What you don't do, what they ask you not to do, is sell the pattern on.
Yes.
You know, yes, make an apron and sell it to somebody, but don't sell the pattern to them.
Yes.
Yeah, and
definitely.
also you say it's designed by Katharine Wright. When people ask you, oh, where's that from? Where'd you get this from? You say it's from Leicester. What's your posh name?
Leicestershire Craft Centre.
That's Leicestershire Craft Centre.
Okay, so I'm tucking in the ends of the strap and just pinning on in place, lining up with the edge.
Oh, it pins onto the front.
Yes.
Okay. Who asked that question? Julia wants to know what other fabrics you could use. Well, as we said, a heavier weight calico, any cotton drill, cotton twill, cotton canvas.
Yeah, and a heavier weight linen.
And a heavier weight linen.
Yeah. So you can see on the back, just before I sew that, can you see you've got the cross?
Yeah.
So make sure that you're...
Oh, hang on, we're not in there. Let's just wait for the camera to come around. There you go.
so that it's crossed over. So
Yeah.
you've got it the right way round.
What about a corduroy?
Do you know what? You could use a corduroy. I like the idea of that. I'm very fond of corduroy.
Well, Kat
It
said
does
that's handy because
fray
we've got
badly,
brown corduroy
though.
on the website.
It does fray a lot, corduroy, though.
Yes. And
So
also, the only
have
thing
to
I'd be
neaten it.
wary of is as you go round your curved armhole, you will have a strange little, because of the way the corduroy, as you fold
Yes.
corduroy over, you will get a strange
And
little-
definitely make sure you cut it out the right way around so you can stroke it downwards.
Yes.
There's nothing worse than corduroy the wrong way, is it?
Or one panel going one way and one panel going the other way.
Exactly, yeah. Now, we're going to just
Excuse me.
stitch these on with a little square just to make them nice and strong. So obviously it's a little bit bulky at this point. So, if you need to, make your stitch a little bit longer so that it can cope with it.
Right. Oh, yes. That's a good point, Kat. We were saying earlier about corduroy, how if you're using it as a sewing room apron, you're going to be covered in all your threads because
Yes.
corduroy seems to attract all the threads.
One of my lovely ladies that comes sewing with me, she's planning to make some of these for her WI committee and embroider their names on them.
Oh, that's
Personalise
nice.
them.
Lo said, could you bind the edges if you wanted to?
If you wanted to.
Be lovely if you did a Liberty Lawn. Use a
Yes.
Liberty Lawn, do like Hong
Make
Kong
it
scenes,
really,
wouldn't it? Be
really
nice.
posh, couldn't you?
And you can make a nice bias binding for the armhole, for the curve around the armhole up the side. Not that you'd see it be underneath, but you just get flashes of it if you use a lovely different colour.
That would be very nice too. I do like it when people do their own spin on things.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like Jane was saying earlier. I've never done a lot of cross stitch because I've always thought you've got to follow the pattern. But now I know that you don't have to all the
No.
time. I'm quite tempted.
Yeah. Obviously, if you buy one that's printed on the canvas or on the linen, then you have to follow it because otherwise it's not going to look right. But if you, like Jane's, you just count them, then you can do what you want with them, really.
There we go. So you will see we're nearly there. Just got to do a hem on the bottom.
Blimey. What we could do, is because we're going to finish a bit early, is just talk through if you don't mind, just talk through the skirt pattern as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll press this slowly. But it is really a nice quick make. You can rustle one of these up in an afternoon.
Oh,
can't
easy,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you can put your hem up to what suits you. If you are, if you're thinking, oh, I need it up this lot, just measure and chop off to make it suit. As I say, it's longish on me, just below my knee. Depends the way you like to wear things, doesn't it? But then
And
I do find
you're 5 foot, how many?
I'm about 5'3". Look, you can see on the thing there.
Oh, yeah.
But that's quite good
you could.
because, it's quite good that it covers everything properly. I'm pretty messy.
Yeah.
And it means I don't mess things up. The other thing I like about this is because it covers your bottom. If you've done something dirty and you do that.
Oh, yes. Which
I do that
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Gets the apron, not your back of your jeans.
Yeah.
When you do neaten it, if you overlock it, I would say just be very careful not to trim too much off.
Oh, yes,
Really
yeah.
just neatening, not trimming.
Yeah. Oh, Emma Bradford's watching. She says, hello, John. Loving the magenta shirt. One of my favourite colours. Thank you.
It does suit you very well.
It's new. It's brand new. I did iron it last night, but when I got here this morning, I had all, you know, when you open a shirt at the pack and you get your lines, look like I had bus darts in my shirt.
Okay, we're just going to stitch round.
Everyone needs to know that Kat's very important to do with sewing. Kat's sofa's arrived. She ordered a new sofa. It's arrived to the house. And Liam, the boyfriend, said they've sent the wrong one.
Oh, no.
Because it's a corner sofa. And he said, it's going the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. He got it again. He just put it the wrong way. It wasn't them. He just tried to put it the wrong way round. Are you sure you want to spend the rest of your life with him? They've been together for decades already. She's only young. How long have you been together? Like 22 years or something? Oh, she's only 25, so it won't be 22 years. It's a long time, though, isn't it? How many? 10 years.
Oh, my word.
Oh, now they live together. They can get engaged, she said. Does he know that? Okay. But then it's your sofa instead of an engagement ring. Oh, poor, he doesn't know what he's let himself in for. He suddenly realised as well, because you've lived together before, haven't you? But not full time. But he suddenly realised what she's like, that she's never off her phone. So yesterday he was talking to her, and then Vix texted her, so she texted back, and then she was halfway through a sentence, she got a text from someone or email from me or whatever, and he said, will you just finish a sentence? See, it's what it's like when you start living with somebody. Especially if it's Kat, yeah.
It's a shame we need a dummy on this side, and I could have put it on the dummy to show everybody.
Oh, yes,
properly.
hang on. Well, hang on. Oh,
I'll
now,
just,
how can I do this without being a metre away? Let me take that one.
Give it
Don't look at me. Don't watch me.
We'll give it a
Right,
final
what I have
press.
to do is I'll bring it near to you, but then don't you touch the stand, because I've touched the stand. Oh, actually, have I got the wipes here? No, just don't touch the stand.
Okie dokie.
No, you're fine. I'm going to sanitise it well. Won't it be weird when we go back to real life?
It'll have got ingrained in us,
I
won't
think,
it?
yeah,
We'll
it's
be
like
so
walking into a
clean.
shop and putting a mask on everything. Right, I've wiped that down so you're fine there. Right.
Right, so sneak it over.
Yeah, it's still wet where I've sprayed the...
I know, I'm trying to... Where shall we?
There you go. Keep going.
We go back there.
Right, okay.
Then we can pop it on. So look, you see, you go over the head first and then put your arms through. That's how you do it. There we go.
Lovely.
I've got that not in the right place at all, have I?
No,
Which
you're
way?
all right.
Are we
You're
all
right
right?
there.
We
You're
all
right
right
there. Just a bit
there?
behind the sewing machine. There you
There
go.
we go.
There you go. Close up.
All done.
And just spin it round. Just let's have a look at the back of the green one.
Haven't got it quite straight.
Fabulous.
There we go.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for that. Right, let me just take you through what I've got for that before we talk about the skirt. So, the pattern is here. It's called the Linen Apron pattern. It's Katharine's own from the Leicestershire Craft Centre. It's $14.99 and it comes in 3 sizes. They go from an 8 to a 22. Sorry, I'm going to cough again. 8 to 22, but they come in the small, medium and large. You choose which one you want. You've got that lovely instruction booklet that you just saw Katharine using, and you need 2 meters of linen, denim or cotton canvas to make it with. Okay, the khaki and the Copen cotton canvas have now both sold out. I've got denim, 2 meters, enough to make any size you want. You'll have lots left over because it's very wide. So this bundle is actually a 2 metre piece. You don't have to think, oh, I have to buy that by the half metre. You're paying $18.99 for the 2 metres. Okay? Then I've got the lovely pale pink that the original one was made out of. Again, this is 2 metres of your heavy linen. Yeah, this will give you a more drapey feel to the cotton canvas, but I think once you wash the cotton canvas, you'll then get a drapier feel to it. So that's the one there that Catherine's wearing in that picture. And she's going to twirl. And we've got it in cream as well, which isn't cream. Biscuit, ecru. There you go. So this is this one. $22.99 gets you the whole 2 meters.
It's a very good price for linen.
Yeah. You see, I think there's something in it, but the description says it's just
I've
linen.
had this in my shop and it's sold as 100%
Yeah,
linen,
it says that
definitely.
the manufacturer says 100% linen, but I feel, because it doesn't crease like linen, as much as linen.
Not as much,
It's
no.
obviously you get the creases because you can see here, but not like a linen. You
Can
go like
be,
that and
yes,
it's creased, isn't
yeah.
it? Whereas this, I thought, but it is sold by the manufacturers as 100% linen. Right, we also have the pattern for the skirt here, which is called the fat quarter skirt. Fat quarter skirt pattern. $14.49.
He's not got his teeth in.
Oh, that's someone else's teeth. And we did it on, what date was it, Kat? 12th of February, if you want to see the demo on this one. And this sold out completely on that day. Now, it's made with fat quarters. You need 8 for a child, or at least 12 for an adult, or 2 meters of fabric for a child and 3 meters of fabric for an adult. And basically, this one's open so I can show you. It is literally, excuse me, just a panel. Excuse me. Well, I'll drink some of my water in the break, don't worry. Look, there you go, that's it. And you just cut panels like this with your grain line down the middle and just keep adding them together. It's a beginner, I'd say it was definitely a beginner's.
Lovely beginner project.
Lovely beginner's
I've
project.
done this one with children. So if you want to do it with your daughter or your granddaughter or your goddaughter or whoever, and they want to start sewing, really, really nice project to do with them.
We've had a picture from Carolyn. Oh, here you go. Adore the skirt pattern. Bought it last time, and here's 2 made ready to take on holiday. Holiday? Perfect to wrap around when going down to the showers from the camper van. I have decided this summer is going to be a skirt summer and not a cropped blouse summer. Oh,
Trouser.
Listening in. Oh, cropped trousers. Oh, didn't see the trousers. Sorry. Listening in whilst working away. Happy, happy, happy. Love to you both from Carolyn. Oh, lovely, Carolyn.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, well, do you see, it's very nice to all the different fabrics. But if you want to do it in pink, I don't know if I'll have any left, but we did have the fat quarters that we had as our early bird 2 days ago. Tiny amount of stock left. You get 4 fat quarters for $3.99 basically. I'll show you them in a second. Oh, there they are on the right-hand side there. I know it's $3.99 for all of them, and they're good quality cotton ones. They're not, don't be thinking, oh, there'll be all those awful, kind of flimsy see-through. They're really good quality quilting cotton, those. So literally, you cut out panels.
Absolutely. Stitch
sew
them
them
together. And you do the same for the outside as the inside. And then you bag it out, put it all together.
Where do you bag it? Where do you leave the hole to bag it out?
On the one of the front side
Going down.
panels going down, yes.
And how does it fasten?
And it fastens with 2 buttons. And if you want to make it reversible, if you put buttons on either side, you can make it reversible as well.
Perfect. Well, and you'd want that, because if you use different fabrics on both sides, not only do you want to see the fabric when it flips open, but if you want to completely change the skirt, then you can do, can't you?
And I don't know if you remember from the show, we talked about if you wanted to, you could lengthen the panel quite easily if you wanted to make it a bit longer. If you're making it for children and you want it shorter, you just shorten your panel.
And do you shorten it in the middle, or do you
I would shorten it at the hip, which I worked out was about 5 inches down from the top.
Right.
If you wanted to shorten or lengthen
Because it doesn't sit high up, does it? It's a nice.
It just sits. I've got mine on under here, and it just sits here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very comfy, because what's nice, because it's a wrap skirt, you can put those buttons where you want. You can always adjust them if you need to.
Oh yeah, of course. And also, like you say, there's no size on it, because you just work out how many of the panels you're going to need to make your waist size.
Absolutely.
And you just put that many panels
in. So you
in.
just keep going until it wraps right round, and you've got a nice couple of panels across the front. So it doesn't flap open when you walk, and especially because it's double-sided, again, it's got a little bit of weight to it, so it hangs down and doesn't float up, because you don't want to wear a wrap skirt and it fly up and...
No, exactly. Karen says, just bought my first pattern from Sewing Street, a fellow Leicestershire girl. Get Little Paul to model the aprons. Little Paul's not in today, I'm afraid. Also, he's shorter. He's even shorter. See, they'd be on the floor for him. I really love it in the khaki cotton. Yeah, that's sold out, Pauline, I'm afraid. And Lintuit, is there a version of the apron for little ones? I think it would be ideal for my great-granddaughter. She doesn't look old enough to have a granddaughter, let alone a great-granddaughter.
We haven't got a children's one, actually.
Will you be doing one?
Maybe.
I think it's
It's
a
a
good
good idea, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
think it's a very
Yeah.
good idea. Anyway, we better go now because Jane's in. So you're back in an hour
Yes.
doing this. It's a Beth Studley and it's called, I want to call it Starburst.
Sparkler quilt.
Oh, Sparkler, there it is. It's like one big block. It's 24 by 24 inches, the block. We've got, there it is, now that's Beth Studley's own. So that's made with her fabrics. What we've got is how many panels we got, Kat? 2 different panels. I said 3 earlier. It's rainbow and fuchsia. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Anyway, that's in now's time. Jane Greenoff is back after the break with more goodies and she's going to do a little sewing demonstration and a hem demonstration. So don't go anywhere. We will see you in 3 minutes from now.
Hello, I'm Jane Greenoff and I'm stood in the barn here at Pink's Barn in Gloucestershire, England, which is where I live with my husband, and I stitch. I think I stitch in my sleep. I've certainly been stitching for over 30 years now, and by stitching I'm talking about counted cross stitch or counted embroidery in general terms. I also collect old samplers, and I've got one to show you here. Now, this smashing, it was actually stitched in 1796 by a little girl of 8 or 9, and it's absolutely charming. So I collect antiques, I love to draw and create antiques for the future, and look forward to seeing you all on Sewing Street sometime in the future.
In need of a crafting fix? There are so many ways you can watch Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. Sewing Street is live from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day on Freeview 72 and Sky 670. Alternatively, if you want to watch us on a tablet or on the move, you can tune in on our YouTube channel, the Sewing Street app, or the websites at www.sewingstreet.com and www.yarnlane.com. You can watch past shows on Sky 670 from 1 p.m. every day, as well as our YouTube channel, the app, and our website. Yarn Lane is on from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Visit our programme guide to find out when and what's on. So you never have to spend a minute without us.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites, sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay 1 postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
I won't have chocolate before I go to bed. She's telling me off again in the break. I won't have chocolate. I've been all weekend, so I won't have any more chocolate. It was that lovely 85%.
Oh.
And you're only supposed to have a little square like that. And as I ate it, I thought, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this. This was a mistake. Jane's back. I only had one square, but it was literally as I went upstairs to clean my teeth to go to bed. And it's not. And then it's worrying, isn't it? 'Cause you clean your teeth and you go, what's wrong with me? Right, okay, Jane's back. She's going to do a bit of stitching this hour. But before we do that, you know the cotton reel magnet we had in the last hour? Sold out. And we've got a new one, another one here for you to see. And half the stock of this one has gone already. So we thought we'd better start with this straight away. So this one has been on air before. So now this isn't only pin keeper, is it?
No. So it's got a felt bottom.
It
needed a felt bottom, obviously. So that's so it doesn't scratch anything, you know. And then there's the little hedgehog. And this was the first magnetic one we ever made.
Oh.
The idea being that, you know, you put your pins to
and
make
it looks like a spiky
prickly
hedgehog. I've got a hedgehog house in my garden.
Have you?
Yeah,
Have
no
you got a
hedgehogs yet.
Oh.
But the hedgehog food was eaten. So Hannah thinks
Someone's
it's a rat.
been.
Yes. But anyway. That's gorgeous. So how much is it? It's £19.99. Just tell us what it's made out of.
So it's not mahogany, obviously. It's made out of resin. They're made in Gloucestershire to my own little design. And he's sweet, isn't he?
Did the first one come on a trinket box as well?
Yes.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Yes. It did come on a trinket box, and we decided to do just the hedgehog on his own.
Right.
And actually, when you make a prototype, it's fine. When you make a lot, they go into what looks like a cement mixer with tiny little bits of grit in it, which polish them, and it breaks the feet off the hedgehog.
Oh, no.
You see his little feet there?
Yes. Hang on, we'll just come in on that one.
There, if I just... If
There's only 8 left, by the way. 8 left. Hang on, we're just coming in now, Jane.
Okay. So we had little feet.
Oh, hang on, he wants you to put it down.
I'll put it there. How's that? Better?
Right, okay. So show the feet, Elliot. There you go.
Just there and there.
That's why Jane was holding
And of course they were just breaking off. So in fact, this hedgehog doesn't exist as a needle holder on its own. For that reason, there is a different hedgehog, and obviously you can have a look on the website to see. Yeah. There you are. So as I said, it has a felt bottom, and when you see them come out of the machines, they're actually white resin, or off-white resin actually, and then they're stained. And as I said this morning, you know, if you chip one, a little black marker will just sort it out.
Lo's got the cat and the whale, and she loves them.
Yes, they are. They're ever so pretty. As I said, I've got them all.
Yeah. So we're down to how many cats, sorry? 5 now. There's 5 left now.
Oh, well, there you are. He's lovely.
Oh, and 14 in baskets. So, close the auction.
Gone. Da, da, da.
Oh, Kat has to let us know. The new cross-stitch Bible book has sold out. What, the one that's on there?
Gone.
That's gone on the... Won't be doing that this hour. It was on the pre-order earlier. It's gone. So that's what happens in Jane's house. You do have to be careful. Right, so where do we want to start? Home Sweet Home Sampler, which is these two here. We've got this in Ada and we've got it in linen. And I'll just turn them over for you there. Right, so that's the Ada one. The graphic's the Ada one first. So in this one, it's Home Sweet Home. It's design size 8.5 by 12 inches. This kit, let's have a look. 28 count linen or 14 count Ada, black and white chart, pre-sorted threads, wrap needle. Exclusive project for Cross Stitch Guild. Oh, right, it was originally for just the members of the Cross Stitch Guild and now available as a kit. Wasn't available as a kit to start with. Right, so Jane, show us where... let me put the graphics in for the linen one as well.
Right. I've got a loose thread there. I'm going to have to snip off. I don't like a loose thread going on. I'm sure I will have.
$24.99. Oh, you be careful now. I know the lady that owns that.
I do too. But at least you can read it now.
Right. So tell us about it.
Well, this is the sort of thing, when we talk about a sampler, I think this is what people recognise. You know, there's a little house, some trees, an alphabet, and a signature. And this is what people recognise as like an antique sampler.
Yes.
They were often done like this during Victorian times. So this was really just inspired by, I can always draw a sampler.
Right.
because they're my thing. I spent yesterday in Whitney Antiques in Oxfordshire.
Oh, yes.
And there were 40 band samplers. One of them cost her £20,000.
Oh.
Cost the people in the shop
Yes,
20.
yes.
And I mean, I came out with such stomach cramp. I get physical pain when I go in there.
Oh.
It's dreadful.
Well, don't go.
Oh, but anyway, this is a sampler inspired by samplers. You've got an alphabet on there, so obviously the point of this is you could change this to suit yourself. I've put Home Sweet Home in here, but this could be your new home, the name of your new home.
Or like Kat got hers, it could be the date she moved in.
The date she moved in. I could have Pink's Barn in there. You can write your own name where you've stitched it. It's done in pure cross stitch and back stitch. It's not hard. Probably if you've not stitched before, you'd do this one on Ada.
Okay.
Because it would be easier for you to see. It'll work out the same size as this. What else can I tell you? Lovely soft antique colours.
So now the lady that messaged earlier about her 10-year-old, excuse me, her 10-year-old or 11-year-old, would this be too advanced for them?
Not advanced, but too much of it.
Okay.
Children need to get something finished quite quickly.
Yeah.
As a general rule.
Yeah.
I may be generalising, but I think there's too much of it.
Okay.
But certainly there's no reason why not. I mean, as I said, my sampler collection were done by 11-year-old girls.
Yes, of course, but they didn't have telly and the internet and things like that.
Exactly. So much of it's what we expect, isn't it?
Exactly. So for $24.99, you either get the Ada one or you get the linen one. They both come out identical. I'm just looking at the
same
two
sizes.
They both come out identical. They're the same size, 8.5 by 12 inches. Just depends which one you want to do, really. Because the Ada's the same colour as the linen. Look, you can see here. If you just see here, this is the Ada one here.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's the linen one there.
And the threads are pre-sorted again so that you're ready to crack on when you get home. I always think it's hard if you're out to work all day and you get home and you want to start your stitching and then you've got to sort the hank.
Oh, yes.
And there are 9 greens.
Yes.
I mean, I was aware, I write recipes. When I finish a project and put it into production, I sit and write a recipe for the Cross Stitch Guild so they know what goes on those cards. And I'm writing the colour. So the recipe's got, basically, it's an A4 packet, blah, 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 what the fabric is, what the fabric size is, what else goes in the packet. And then I do the recipe for those cards, colour, Madeira, the number, and then how many lengths. And I'm there going leaf green, light green, olive green, lime green, dusty lime green, and so on. For the girls the other end. Now they've got the thread number. They can go and get it.
Yes.
But if you're at home on your own, looking at leaf green and light, dusty, horrid. So because the lot of colours are similar, we pre-sort those.
Yes.
Which means you can get cracking.
So you can get started straight away. That 24. Now, in the linen one, there are, how many say fewer than? 15 now. Fewer than 15 of the linen one. And that's the Ada one there.
Yes. As I said...
right, so it's the one on the left-hand side of those. The one on the left-hand side of those. In the darker frame.
Yes.
Let's go to the beaded biscornu next.
Right, let's do that thing.
Again, available on Ada and linen. It's buttercups and daisies. So what's a biscornu? The Ada first is going through. That's that one there. They're exactly the same threads, exactly the same everything.
Yes.
Beads and buttons and everything.
Yeah.
Oh dear, listen to me. I do apologise. So Ada and linen.
Yes.
What is a biscornu?
Well, the word, it's a pincushion, but the word is supposed to be a French word for irregular or quirky. And actually what it is a square pincushion. So you've got beads on the top. You could put them on both sides, but originally we did on the top. And so you're going to work 2 squares. There must be squares. And I'm going to show you with some paper in a minute how they're made. So this is cross stitch and back stitch, nothing else but the beads added at random. The button is put on at the end when you make them, because that's what pinches the middle. If I go to there, that gives you a better view. Yes? So to show you how they're done, I've got it in paper here just to show you.
Okay, so you make two. You
make two,
cross stitch
like that.
two panels.
Yes,
like that,
and they're squares.
Yeah.
So then you're going to fold and finger press your fabric, like so. And actually, that's not quite right even now. You want the back. You want the green to show. So in other words, the border should be on the visible side.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Oh, you fold it over.
I went a bit far. Yes?
Yep.
Right, so you do that to both pieces. There is a method in my madness, honestly. That sounds doubtful.
I'm trying not to talk in case I cough again.
Well, you poor little thing, it's a shame.
I know. Bernie said, "You okay, John? You got a frog in the throat?" Yeah, it's because I ate chocolate before I went to bed last night, Bernie. Oh, we've had a question. Is it going across the bottom? Morning, love Jane.
Hi.
I've never tried on linen,
Ah.
but think I should give it a go.
I do
Is
too.
the Biscornu a good starter?
Yes.
I can cross stitch from Karen in
Yes,
Kent.
it will be absolutely brilliant. You're going to start in the middle, just like you did with your Aja fabric. You're going to work the cross stitch. If you get nervous of this, if you go to the Cross Stitch Guild website and go to Stitch Basics, which is sort of top right, click on that. There's yours truly showing you the differences in the fabric, showing you how you get one from the other, etc., etc. So if there's video you can watch free.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to do that to your piece of stitching, so you folded it in. And the trick with a Biscornu is you join it there and there.
Okay.
So that's going to be slip stitched together.
Right.
Middle to middle.
Right.
And then I'd love to have one of these ready stitched to show you.
Yes.
But every time we do that, it just takes so long. Stitching takes so long. So if you imagine that then this goes round this side, I'm going to fold it. This is going to be the only way to show.
Yeah.
It just looks such a clever shape and it's very simple. So that goes there.
Yeah.
Then that one goes there.
Right.
Does this show at all what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes?
Just push your hand forward a second for me. That's it. Brilliant.
So you're going to do that.
Yes.
And you keep going round, which is why they have to be complete squares. And just slip stitch them.
So have you beaded it and everything at this point?
Yes, you've done everything.
Yeah. Apart from the button in the middle, you've done everything.
The button comes later.
Yeah.
So if you just slip stitch round where you got your in the green,
Yeah.
so you can't see the stitching too much, yes?
Yep.
And then leave a little gap so you can stuff it. And I like them well stuffed, as they say. This one is actually getting a bit squashy now. I would stuff it again now.
Oh, okay. And what do you put in it?
Well, it varies. Dry rice, uncooked rice, is nice if you want to make a paperweight. Polyester wadding, wheat, lavender. I've even seen them done with lead shot. You know, if you want a really heavy, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So leave a gap for your stuffing to go in.
Yep.
Really well stuffed. Slip stitch it, and then you might want to use button thread, or I've even done this with Nymo from beading. Make that button nice and tight.
Because you want to
give it a
really,
nice
really pull it
dumping.
through.
Yeah.
Kat,
like a
what were you
dumpling.
asking then? Could it be a pincushion?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, they often they're pincushions or little ones. You can make little Biscornu. We've done them before, where we've done a little series called the Indian Twists, which are about so big on the end to hang on your scissors.
Yeah.
But it's two identical squares. And the thing when you're designing them, you have to learn, as I did, because I designed lovely pincushion, and the pattern was in the middle, which of course is under the button.
Oh, of course.
So the pattern's around the edges.
Perfect. Susan said, I love hedgehog. I've got Jane's little hedgehog needle minder and I use it all the time. Breezy in Norfolk, apparently. Judith says, morning, John and Jane. I sew on Ada and linen, but would probably do a sampler on linen. Carol says, I love the fact that you pre-sort the threads for cross stitch because it makes it so easy. And then, oh no, Coral. Coral says, hi Jane, I've lost my cross-stitch mojo, but watching this has helped to rekindle it.
Oh, well
I
done.
bought the greenhouse and hope to have it ready for the next time we're able to do Cross-Stitch Guild at Swindon. Love from Eeyore Coral.
It's Eeyore.
Okay.
This is a lady Coral, who has Eeyore pincushions, Eeyore books, Eeyore key ring.
Winnie the Pooh Eeyore.
Winnie the Pooh Eeyore. Yes.
That's good.
So
right.
dear old Coral. So she'll be hopefully coming to the Guild weekend in Swindon next year.
It'll be next year.
It'll be next year.
But it's sold out already, isn't it?
Yeah, the Swindon isn't.
Oh.
Leeds and Leicester are.
Oh, okay.
Swindon couldn't happen because we weren't allowed to do it.
Oh, so it's going to happen next
year.
Yeah.
So the Leeds weekend is full, and we hope that it will go ahead, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Unless the Prime Minister changes his mind.
Again, yeah.
Let's not go on about
Right, let me do bugs and beasts. We will get Jane to do some stitching. Don't worry, we're only quarter past, but I just want to get you to introduce you to everything. Then we can get on with the
then I
stitching.
can play with that.
This is beautiful. Bugs and Beasts, this one's called. This is beautiful. Comes on both Ada and on linen. £24.99. I'll just spin it over. So there you've got your Ada, there you've got your linen. Which one have we got in first? Ada first, that's the Ada. Beautiful colours on here, isn't it?
Yeah,
but you'll see when you see Jane's actual finished sampler over there. We'll just put the linen one through. They're both £24.99. But this is just adorable.
It's very
sweet.
sweet.
Wait for Elliot's camera to focus itself.
There you go. So this is what we call a spot motif sampler. Now they were done way back, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, and it would be somebody trying out a pattern, not connected to any other pattern, so there's no sort of scale. So if they did an elephant, if they'd seen a painting of an elephant, it might be the same size as a flower.
Oh, okay.
It's just muddled up.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the mistake once of not buying one in a shop in London, and I thought it was a bit dodgy. And actually what had happened was it had been a genuine spot motif sampler, and perhaps the original owner had said, oh, I do like that hair. I'm going to cut that out and apply it to my outfit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so there were darns on it.
Oh.
I hadn't realised that spot motif samplers were sometimes cut up and used individually.
Well, yeah, I suppose they would be, yes.
So, yes, so this is a spot motif sampler, and there's no excuse for it whatsoever. I just drew everything I liked. I just sat there one day and went, right, okay, I'm going to do one. So it's got traditional things, it's in cross-stitch. I don't think there's even a French knot on it.
And
so
you do it the same as you do a regular pattern? You start in the middle and work outwards?
Start in the middle and work outwards. I generally start in the middle, and I generally count across the shortest distance to the next thing.
Okay.
Because we tend to make a counting mistake when we're working on empty fabric.
Of course. Kat wants to know what's at the top right-hand corner?
Right-hand corner. A deer. A stylised reindeer. Does that help?
Stylised reindeer. Elliot said it was going to be a reindeer.
And do you know
Kat
what?
Loves it.
I love that, and I'm in the process of decorating a box.
Right.
And I'm putting all my old favourites in. Now, when I started cross-stitch in 1983, I worked 100 of those little reindeer individually, and they were Christmas cards sold in the local bookshop.
My word.
When I started, you imagine.
Yeah.
That little reindeer, I'm very fond. So that's how this happened. The stalk came from a very old book on DMC, from DMC. The grasshopper came off a sampler I saw at the Burrell Museum in Glasgow, as did the hare. So it was very personal.
Yeah, no, I think it's gorgeous. I love it. $24.99. Absolutely love Jane's demonstrations. One of these days, I'll give cross-stitch a go. Thank you, from Susan. Do it today, Susan.
Yeah, time you got cracking, Susan.
Oh, dear, I do apologise. Where's the message? What, sorry, Kat? Oh, from Ellen. Loving the show. Started in senior school and got my GCSE in needlework from my beautiful Ada sideboard runner 50 years ago. And we still have it, from Ellen in West Midlands.
Well done, Ellen.
Oh, Ellen.
The teacher made me give up needlework. She told my mother that I was a waste of my mother's money and her time.
And if she should be spinning now, wouldn't she?
I would think she might be.
Right, before we do any sewing, what else have we got to show? You've got a couple, I've got a book over there, haven't you, that we need to show?
Well, this is my reminder of how long I've been doing this. So let me just pop that back for a second.
Okay.
And then get this to show you.
Right, so it's called the Cross Stitch Antique Style Sampler Book, and it's for... Now, you see, this is what I'm trying to understand. You have put... You'll see when Jane opens in a minute. There is so much information in this book, and it's only $14.99.
So this book was... I did a sampler book before, and they wanted to reprint it, and so they came to see me to talk about it. And I said, oh, you know, I've been stitching 30 years, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we need to do a 30th anniversary sampler.
Yeah.
Which is what this was. And this time we did quite a lot of illustrations of my own collection. These are old ones that I've collected. This is instead of an eternity ring.
Right, oh, okay.
Maps, paper sampler there. That was my band sampler I bought myself when I retired. Ho ho.
So these are all yours,
Those
locked
were
away in storage,
these-
nice and safe.
Yeah, these are all in my north-facing house, not in sunshine.
Yes.
And then the book is inspired by. So you've got colour, you've got symbol charts, there's a darning sampler. I bought a darning sampler yesterday.
Oh, does Bill know?
He was there.
Oh, okay.
I was glad he was there, actually, because it's made it easier.
Made it because he had to pay for it.
Because he just stood there and said, all right then. Well, I was looking at it and I couldn't believe it. I'll bring it to show you.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm on next month, I'll bring it to show you. I just couldn't believe this was all made of darns. And I just said, I'd be interested to know the price on that one. I saw Bill get slightly taller suddenly.
Yes.
You know. And she told me, and I just picked it off the wall and looked at him.
And Matt told him to get his checkbook out.
And
So you make him go round all the cross-stitch exhibitions and...
No, he comes and works them with me.
Oh.
You know, so that's my map.
Right.
This is done in a Quaker school in York.
Hang on, we'll just come in on that one.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that inspired me to do a map sampler.
Yeah.
And there's the map of Great Britain.
Okay.
So this is the book that I was given
Just
permission
move
to
your books
write.
a bit to the right for me, Jane, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this, am I?
No, it's Elliot, it's not you.
Sorry, Elliot. So it's just a lovely book, and I was so pleased with the publishers. They did, you know, you say goodbye to your manuscript, and then it depends what they do with it, doesn't it?
Yes.
And, you know, nice little touches, quite a few little vignettes of the stitching, lovely big photographs. See, look, putting in little bits. They really did make a lovely job. This is inspired by my Bristol sampler, which was done in an orphanage.
Jane is in very good company. Albert Einstein was told by his teacher he was rubbish at maths. Is that the first time you've been?
I've not heard that.
No?
I've heard that.
Right, okay, so now I've lots of messages. Jan says, I've previously bought one of Jane's kits on linen, but would like to work it on Ada. Is it okay to swap it to work on Ada without messing up the pattern or leaving myself short of thread?
It shouldn't make a difference. It depends what the kit is. I'm only saying that to give you an example, not of mine, but of other people's. And that is, some of you will remember the Lavender and Lace and Mirabilia series of ladies and brides and whatever, big cross stitches. And we had a lady come up to us at a show who'd worked the bride on Ada. And the problem was her face and her hands were worked over one thread of fabric.
Yes.
Like I showed you on here.
Yeah.
This, if I just find that, just to make that clear. So the main sampler was worked over two,
Right.
like my little example here.
Yeah.
But her face and the detail was worked over one, and of course you couldn't do that with Ada.
Oh,
So
of
her
course.
face was blank and her hands were blank.
Oh.
And she was very upset. She actually got it hand painted.
Oh, blimey.
She'd spent so much time and money. That's the only thing she did. So if your kit is pure cross stitch and doesn't have any other additional composite stitches and doesn't have any cut work or hem stitch, yes, of course you can.
Right.
And a 28 count linen which is probably what it's on if it's a cross-stitch guild one, will transfer to the same size on a 14 Ada.
Right. So she's doing a 14 Ada, basically.
So ring the guild on the free phone number for advice. Tell her which one you've got, and she'll make sure you can still work it on there. Because some things don't work on Ada.
And the phone line, is it open just normal working hours?
Normal working hours.
Yeah.
Yes?
Perfect, thank you. Right, okay, so what's in the graphs now is the needle fold, which is, I haven't got the actual thing with me, but we've got it, we had it in the last hour. It's $19.99, and this is what you can make from it.
All right, so this is the little so what I was just going to show quickly was this hemming round the edge business.
Okay.
Now in the stitch book, there's a big section on this as well.
Right.
So I fiddled and faddled about last night. So if you can try and just imagine, am I in roughly the right place?
Yeah, you're in the right place there, perfect.
Just try and imagine then that this is the embroidery where my hand is. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the right-hand corner. Okay.
Right.
So what I've done to start my hem, first of all, I press the fabric. I do use a little bit of spray starch. It's the only time I ever do, around where the hem's going to be, because it does make this bit easier. Right, so I've removed a fabric thread. Now this is where we need to get in nice and close.
Elliot.
So I've...
That's directing from the floor again.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's good, it's good. Keep on his toes.
Keep them awake in the gallery. So I cut a thread in the fabric. Now, where you cut that, related to your stitching, is up to you. Sometimes people like a big border around the edge. I like mine with my stitching quite close to the hem. So my stitching would be 4 threads away from there, and I've unpicked a thread in the fabric to this corner, and you can see there's a whisker.
Yeah.
Yes? Ditto down the side. So I'm just doing the corner because this would take hours. Again, so I would repeat this round all 4 sides of the sampler.
Okay.
So if I was doing it on the Bugs and Beasts, I'd probably count out 4 threads from where the stitching ended, and cut one and unpick it.
Pull it out.
So what I'm doing is making a ladder.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on the corner there, you can see where the 2 threads combine, there's a little square.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? So we'll ignore that for a minute, but we'll need it in a second.
Right.
Okay, so then we do the folding bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm just going to check which side this side. Okay, so I count out 9 threads, which is there.
Need to get down a little bit, Elliot.
There? About there?
No, you're right.
Oh,
That's
there?
it. There you go. There you go.
There you go. Okay. So I'm counting 9 threads, which I've already done to there, and then I'm going to score the fabric.
So 9 threads above where you've pulled your thread out.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to pull the fabric, not the needle.
Yeah.
Now this is the bit that's very hard to explain in words.
Right.
You say it, and then people can't do it. If you watch it happening, this is the other 9 threads. There will be a reason for this in a minute, I promise.
So you're only scoring it at the moment. You're not doing anything else. You're just scoring it along the line.
Just scoring it by pulling the fabric,
not the needle.
not the needle. Okay. So not on your fine rosewood table. You know,
yes, exactly.
Nice glossy magazine's good. And then I'm cutting at 7. So I've withdrawn a thread. I've scored at 9.
Yeah.
I've scored at 9, and I'm cutting at 7.
Okay.
Okay.
A quick question.
Yes?
Is it the same on Ada as it is on linen?
I have never made this on Ada.
Right.
Because I think it's probably too bulky. I would use a cut hem if I wanted to do it,
right, okay.
which does work on Ada. It's in the Cross Stitcher's Bible and it's in the stitch book.
Perfect.
Right, so I'm going to do the same on this corner.
Right.
This is ever so fiddly, but I just think it's worth you seeing.
No.
So I know this is 9. Obviously you have counted.
And then 9 again.
9 again.
And why do you pull the fabric, not the needle?
If you pull the needle, it doesn't stay in the fabric line.
Right.
This will fold exactly on the line.
Okay, so it's like the grain of the fabric.
Exactly.
Almost, yeah.
So if I finger press now.
Okay, where are you finger pressing then?
So I'm just folding on one of the scores.
Right.
Yes?
The furthest one away?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fold again and just finger press.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 9s are folded and the 7 is actually tucked in.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now, so I would do this round my piece of work. I think I've actually scored that the wrong way. Just a minute, let me do it again. Without the stitching to look at, I'm not sure which way my hem's going to be. There we are. This will make sense in a minute. I always say that when I'm demonstrating this. There is a video on the Cross Stitch Guild website, but you have to buy it.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes.
Yeah.
A video, right. So I'm folding again. When I get this folded properly, you'll see in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted enough time to do it.
You got plenty of time, don't we?
That's nice, look. So I'm getting the feel of the hem, look.
Yeah.
So that's going to be where the sewing goes.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of those whiskers in a second. Right, so now we know that's going to work because the hem exactly lines up to our ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Yeah, so it's 9 and 9, fold down 9, fold down another 9, so it now
And then 9 and
lines up
7.
the ladder, yeah.
Okay. Now, these whiskers, I'm going to just demonstrate now. Oh, it takes too long otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull one out. Right?
Yeah.
This one will go back in its place.
Okay.
So if
Hang on, we've lost you completely now.
Now, let me...
Okay.
We're there. About there?
Yeah, perfect.
Lovely. So I'm going to go in and out here. Not very well because I haven't got my glasses on.
Oh.
I know.
Where are your glasses? In the car.
In the car.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to go in and out, put this little thread in the eye and pull it.
Right. Oh, so you re-thread it through.
Exactly. I'm not going to bother now
Yeah.
because I want to show you something else. Yeah. Right, so to mitre the corner, I'm going to put the needle in the little square hole.
Yeah.
Bring it up where the 2 creases meet.
The 2 first creases.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cut off the end.
Oh.
The needle's there to stop you cutting off too much.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to do. I've done it. So then you fold that little raw end in.
Hang on a sec. Is it in the right place, Elliot? Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Sorry, Elliot. I'm keeping you awake, I know.
Oh, he says, could you make him a coffee? Oh, no, she's got to rush off. She's got to
Not
rush
today.
off the minute she's finished.
Not today. Not with my car issues, I can't,
No.
unfortunately.
She says normally she would, Elliot, but not today.
So then your corner will mitre. Like so.
Uh-huh.
And then that is just slip hemmed.
Elliot says, what does slip hemming mean?
Right. So what I'm going to show you, I'll get while we're chatting in a minute.
Yeah.
I'll thread a needle and
Yeah,
I'll
don't
show
make
you.
your thread though.
So that's how you get
Oh, hang on.
the hem shape.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can see the stitching is going to be there and there, which is how you get this effect.
He's got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not very good at this.
No,
I
no.
keep forgetting to look at the screen. So with this one, I've hemmed it after
Yeah.
doing all this folding, and then I've folded in this piece of fabric, tucked in the raw edges, and I just slip stitch through the same holes again.
Ah. There's
So-
only 5 left of the needle holders now. Fold even, not hold, fold. Right, I've got a quick question, a message for you here from Beverly. Good morning, it's my birthday today. One of my gifts from my husband is the 30th anniversary book, and I'm really, really pleased with it. I joined the guild last year, and I've become seriously addicted to cross stitch. Love the show with Jane.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you're enjoying the book.
And Carol says, do you do the same thing as... I can understand what that means, Carol. You do this as the same... Can you write that again, Carol? I don't know. I don't understand that question, though. I've got a lovely message off Melanie here. I've got to read this one out for you, so I'm going to have to look over there. Hi, all. Could I please ask Jane a question for the next hour? Oh, that was from the last hour. I've already got the greenhouse kit, but I've not started it yet. I take it out to look at the lovely fabrics and threads, then put it away again because I don't know where to start. I'm used to finding the middle of a cross-stitch design and the middle of a fabric and working it out from there. As this is all in individual pieces, do I find the middle of each piece and try to work out where to put it on the fabric, or do I measure in from the edge of the fabric and start stitching the nearest edge to the piece of the chart? I hope Jane understands what I mean and can explain the best place to start on this lovely kit. Regards, Melanie.
Bless her. Now, if Magic Hands, or whatever the equivalent is here, could bring me the greenhouse kit.
Okay, Kat, could you bring the greenhouse kit for Jane, please? Yeah.
I know roughly where it is, but it means disappearing off screen. I will just try and indicate what... I just want to check something before I give you the wrong advice.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Was Carol message back again? While we're waiting, how is Jane shopping for antiques during lockdown? Chris wants to know.
I can tell you that I had an appointment at Whitney Antiques in Whitney.
Yeah.
To pick up invoices for things that I bought so that I could pay her.
Yep.
And I had...
Is it not everything on that top of the trolley there?
Ah, brilliant. Thank you.
It's all in the box.
That's perfect. Thank you very much, Kat. And she was showing me some of the new collection. We were the only people there.
The Antiques Centre near me is open by appointment only. So
I guess that's the same thing.
Oh, there's only 3 of these left.
Right, let me just check this out.
Okay.
Right, with this one, I would just pretend this is one big chart.
Yep.
Count to the middle and stitch them. There's enough room to finish off everything.
Well, hang on, we just need to come into the...
Okay,
there you go,
sorry,
there you go.
I'm confusing
so
everybody.
you would then get that out, get your big piece of linen out and stitch as though that's a whole picture.
Yes.
You'd go from the middle of there and just do all those separate icons.
Just do those on one piece of fabric.
Right.
All right.
And they're all little bits like your scissor and your pinhole.
And they go on that one.
And then what about the house, the greenhouse itself?
Now the house... Actually, they go on that one. The house... It's quite interesting, isn't it? Right, I would take my fabric, and I did do it on one big piece of fabric. This is what I'm trying to remember, because it is a while now. I would allow myself about an inch in from the fabric and start the eave and put it there.
Yes.
When that's worked, you know how big it's going to be, because that's going to be exactly the same size, and put it there. And by then you'll see how much fabric you've got. In my head, originally, my chart was the whole thing was on one big sheet of paper.
Yeah.
And I just worked it all on one piece.
But they can ring the cross-stitch, Melanie can ring the cross-stitch guild, can't she, and say, I'm really...
If you're slightly worried, have a quick word with Andrea at CST headquarters. As I said, I would probably work that one on. All you need is that much round the edge.
Right.
So you can turn them in when you make them. You're not framing them and needing 2.5 inches each side. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I think it does.
Carol says the corner, is it the same in binding or is it the same technique as the same in binding? It is like binding. I can explain that one. It's like when you turn the binding in, and you can do the mitered corner, and Jane put the needle in to cut it away so that you haven't got the full. You don't always have to cut the fullness away, but because this is would be quite hefty
Chunky,
if you left
yes.
it in. Yeah.
Quite a chunky piece.
So it is like slip stitching your binding down. Yeah.
Yes, and I mean you could do a machined edge perfectly well. I mean, I like sitting doing the hems.
Yes.
I mean, I'll do some of my long band samplers are hemmed as well because I think they're quite nice to do.
Perfect.
I hope that helped.
Yep. Now, was there something else you wanted to show?
Oh, well, I was just going. This was actually appertaining to something from this morning. Have we got any of the spring watt bows left? Do we know?
Are there any swing watt bows left? Also, weren't you going to stitch something? You're going to thread the needle and stitch something else then?
Yes,
as well?
but I need a bit of thread, believe it or not.
Okay.
Is there a kit open?
Spring
yes,
watt
there
bow.
is.
We do have some spring watt
Right.
bow left.
I'll just grab a little bit of thread.
grab a
out
bit of
here.
thread from there.
I could easily do that.
Yeah, just remember, you have to put one back in that one.
I'm going to take one strand. Just so you know, everybody,
Yeah.
you can take just one strand off these cards.
Okay.
Bear with me with my plastered finger. Come on, you brute.
Oh, well, it's going to come out then.
I was careful.
There you go.
There you go. I've just taken out one.
So you don't have to take all the green off to take one out
No,
of it.
you can just
literally
take
pull out.
one, and I'm going to fold that in half.
Carol says thank you very much.
Oh, bless you. And don't be nervous of it. It's only a cross-stitch kit, just because it comes in a box. You know, it's the trick is to get something started, and probably if you worked your accessories first, you might have got your confidence as well.
Yes.
Right, so what I've done there is I do it on there. Right, so I've folded one strand in half,
Yeah.
threaded the raw edges, ends, leaving me with a loop.
Right.
And that's how I start my cross stitch or my French knots.
Right.
So that I've got the loop to go through on the back. So I'm just going to pick up some of the hem and go through the loop. Now then, I don't tack mine. I tend to work. Let me just get to where we pull the threads out.
But if you've done your a bit of starch on there and
Yes.
you've done your pressing
Yeah.
and everything like that, it
You
should
don't-
stay.
yeah,
where
it should
shouldn't
stay.
need to tack it, should
And
it?
I like to look to see the ladder underneath. So what I'm actually going to do is pick two from the ladder, a bit from the hem.
Elliot says, do you have to score it or could you just press? I can answer that actually, Elliot. You score it, Elliot, so that you definitely get straight of grain.
Yes.
If you just fold it over with an iron, you could go off
All
grain.
over the place.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, I've thought, oh, I can save time, I shan't bother to score. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm doing it in a colour so you can see a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm picking up two from the ladder and then one from the edge.
Okay.
And obviously if you're using a matching thread, you don't see it.
Yeah.
So that would give you the little pulled. And it is a pulled stitch. Hem stitch is a pulled stitch. Now, we say cross stitchers can't pull, because actually often they can't,
Yes.
because you try so hard not to make holes
Yes.
that getting somebody to learn pull thread work's quite difficult, because you really do have to pull. So you want to pull little holes, like in this one, for instance. You know, I've given really good tug.
Yeah.
And
To
it gives
really
this
create that
decorative
little-
edge, yes. And the holes are what you're looking at rather than the stitches.
Yes.
In which case, doing them in the fabric that the colour of the fabric means you see the decoration.
Yes. Yeah, the holes
It's
become
very
the decoration,
pretty,
not
very
the colour
pretty.
of the stitch or anything.
And that applied to this area here, look, as well. I know
Okay.
we haven't got very many left.
Well, no, the graphics are in the moment aren't for this.
Sorry, I'm
we're bringing the right
confusing you
graphics. No,
completely
it's fine.
today. This is the My Precious Needle Holder thing, if you're on the website.
Yeah, there you go, 19.99.
And I'm confusing
Oh no,
everybody.
it's sold out, sold out,
Oh,
sold out,
right.
sold out.
Well, I'll still tell you.
Yeah, yeah, please tell us, yeah.
That little heart there, for instance, is worked in cross stitch first.
Yeah.
And then I've done a counted satin stitch, very tight,
Right.
pulling, making the little holes.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are Algerian eye stitches, again pulling to make the holes. So there is some confusion, I think, because there's so many different combinations.
Yes.
There's cross stitch, which is counted. There's pull thread, where you make holes but you don't take anything out. There's drawn thread, where you withdraw fabric threads to make ladders.
Yeah.
And then there's the cut work, of course, which is the hardanger and, yeah.
Okay. While you get ready to do your next bit of stitching, Kat, can we go to the website? Remember earlier we said we'd look at what we had available in the
let's
Jane,
have a...
our website to see what was available to
what
buy
would
for
be
a little
suitable
for
for a
10-year-old. Not being
Yes,
patronising,
exactly.
little 10-year-old for a 10-year-old.
Just see what's up there that we could...
Yes. Right, here we go. Just write in, when you go into the Sewing Street website, just write in Cross Stitch Guild. Are you going to see those?
Yeah, I can see them.
Yeah.
I'm just looking now. I don't see any reason why a 10-year-old couldn't do the seaside one, Seashore.
Seashore.
There's pure cross stitch.
There you go, that one.
That's not difficult. Do that on Ada.
Mm-hmm. There's only 16 of those left. Okay, we can't go back. We can't go backwards. But just have a look. I can't remember who it was that asked, but just have a look. They're all there. Just put in Cross Stitch Guild on the Sewing Street website. They'll all come up and you'll be able to see which ones.
Yeah, there's one there about the autumn leaves.
Right.
Quite a small design called Autumn Leaves, and that's a pretty one. Again, there you
That
are.
one?
That would be a delight for a 10-year-old.
Right, that's
to
on
stitch.
linen. Do we do it on Ada as well?
We did.
It is also on Ada. We can't
Yes.
go back there now, but that one would be a nice one to do.
So that would be very easy to do.
And that was $7.99. So if she then gets halfway through it and hates it, thinks, I don't want to do this anymore,
It's a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
My daughter came up to me one day in her late 20s and said, I've decided I want to do cross stitch. I'm going to make everybody a cross stitch Christmas present. And my heart sank, actually, because she hadn't done any.
Right.
And obviously she wanted...
And what month was this that she was suddenly announcing this?
It was September, October
Yes,
time,
exactly, 10 weeks ago.
And I said, she said, what can I take to go and do, you see? And I said, well, I tell you what, we'll make a deal. You can take one of our little butterfly kits, and if you get that done satisfactorily, you can choose anything you want to do. She came down the next morning with it stitched.
Oh.
She'd obviously been up half the night.
Yes.
So, of course, I said, OK. So my
is she a natural at anything, or is she a determined...
She's a natural, actually. Okay. And my Christmas present from her was a banner about so big, and it said, please may I make a small observation, in Old English writing.
Oh!
It's what I used to say to her. She was leaving the house. Too much makeup, too long, too short, too low, whatever. So she stitched it in Old English for me. Can I make a small observation?
Oh, she sounds a bit sassy, your daughter.
She certainly is.
Okay, so what are we going to stitch now?
What I was just
and then I'll do a roundup.
Yeah, what I was just going to show, we had some of the spring watt bows left, and on the spring watt bow, I did some French knots, but I want to show you a colonial knot that you can do instead of a French knot.
Right.
Because I think these are easier, and people do tend to hate French knots for whatever reason.
Okay, it's because the thread knots before they're ready.
Exactly. You know, until you've got it right. Yeah. Let me just untwiddle myself. So the little grape hyacinths on that little piece are just done as a random group of little colonial knots. So there's my start of my flower. Yeah. And I'm going to go under the thread and over the thread and post it. And it's done. And they always work. Okay. She said. Okay, so I'm going to go under. Yeah. Over. Oh. Post.
It's not knitting, Elliot. He says it's like knitting. He's learning still. You keep putting the camera where it's meant to be. Don't you worry about the stitching, Elliot. Oh, he's in such a bad mood with me today now. So it's because he's ignored all my emails all week. That's why.
Over. Post it.
What's the matter, Elliot?
There you are. And they always work.
Bernie says the skill, the knowledge, etc. in this lovely Lady Jane is astonishing, truly mesmerising, and I don't stitch.
Well, bless you for that. When you've done something, if you're awake for 30 years, you tend to absorb stuff, don't you?
Yeah, oh yes.
I mean, it's been my working life since 1983. And we did have a whoopsie-daisy baby in the middle of that period of time, being Lulu. She arrived, I had 4 days off to have her.
Oh no.
I was caught by the midwife packing up an exhibition in our front room.
When you were 9 months pregnant?
When I'd had the baby 4 days ago.
The
baby was on the floor and I was in a nightie and I was packing an exhibition up that was going by carrier.
Yeah.
And the midwife arrived and she chased me upstairs. Yeah, I had 4 days off to have a baby.
Oh,
So
hear
I
that,
do know-
Vix? 4 days,
4
right?
days.
4 days.
4 days to have a baby. Yes,
She's
so
at home
that's a
doing
really...
she's doing the Festival of Quilts jigsaw as she watches us this morning.
Oh, bless her. There you go. So that little knot works ever so well if you can't be bothered with French knots.
French knots. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect, thank you. Right, let's do a roundup then, Kat, of things from this
that
hour.
goes in there.
So what? We started this hour with the special with the hedgehog.
Yes.
Oh, sold out. So don't get to that, Jane, sold out. Then we went to Special County Collection Home Sweet Home, did we not? Right, comes in Ada and it comes in linen.
Yeah,
There's
it
the
does.
Ada one there. £24.99. And then it also comes in linen. It's exactly the same. It's just, all it is the charts and everything, the threads, everything are all the same. It's just that you've got different fabric. You've got Ada, which is the one on that side, and linen, which is the one in the little box on that side there. The difference, Elliot, if you were listening, is on linen, you count the threads, and on Ada, you count the boxes.
Absolutely.
There's no difference in the finished thing,
The
apart from
size
the
is the
background of this one is slightly heavier, I'd say, than
Yes.
linen.
And actually, with that sample, there isn't much background to see.
No.
Actually, if you think about it, most of it's stitched.
And as Elliot wants to know which is the easiest one to do, it all depends on which one you learnt on, because Jane learnt on linen, so she obviously finds linen easier. Yes. Some people find the Ada much easier. So I'll set you two challenges. Really. I know we should do to Elliot what you did to your daughter. We'll send him home with a kit, and then in 4 days, oh no, that was having the baby in 4 days, not the... But you can bring it back and we can tell him if he's any good or not. I know the answer already. Then we've moved on to the beaded biscornu.
Which is a pincushion.
Which is a pincushion, or it could be a decoration, or a scissor holder, or whatever you want it to be. A bit big for a scissor holder, I suppose, isn't it? So it comes in Ada. Again, this one comes in Ada and it comes in linen. You get beads, you get the button. Are there 2 buttons there? Yep. 2 buttons, all the threads and the chart, everything you need. So there's one, this one's on Ada, that one's on linen. And that's $16.99. You need to supply your own stuffing because we don't know what you want to stuff it with. And remember, you sew it together, you make 2 squares, and then you sew them together, starting the corner of one to the halfway point along the seam of the other one. Exactly. And then just keep going round and round till you get to the end, leaving the hole for you to stuff it with.
Yes, smashing. And it does, there are diagrams as well.
Oh yeah, lots of diagrams.
How to put them together.
Brilliant. Then we moved on to this gorgeous one now, the collector's samplers, Bugs and Beasts. $24.99. Now, when you say you drew this, did you just sit down and draw it, or did you have your eye stitch?
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, I draw, I scribble on squared paper, and then I transfer things onto eye stitch, and that's where I colour. That's usually where I colour in. I'll often draw things, particularly flowers and things. I'll sort of sketch a shape, and then I'll square them off with a pen so that they are stitchable, you know, that because it's not free embroidery, we're counting.
Yes, yes.
And then I'll colour them on the screen.
Okay. The eye stitch is, it's available on our website. And last time, was it last time you were in? It was when you were in with...
Time before.
Were you with Wendy? Or
yes,
was it with
I was in with Wendy.
With Wendy.
And I did the...
I'll show you to you. It's on the website here. It's I'm not very good at this. It's a DVD. No,
it is a DVD because we couldn't get everything on a CD.
Oh, okay.
But it goes in your computer.
Yes.
And it goes in a PC, not a Mac.
Right. And you can design your own.
Anything.
And there's colour charts in there. There's ones that you've already designed in there. That shows you how you can do one from a picture to a everything like that.
You can scan in a picture or a greetings card or a photograph. There's a very competent, really good stitch library, like the Stitch book.
Yeah.
There are 14 shade cards. It's worth buying it for those.
Yeah, exactly. And it's $29.99.
Yes,
we haven't got it here with us today because it's just it comes in like a DVD box. You know what I mean?
Yes. So yes, I have.
Oh, but there's only 5. There's only 5 available, just so you know. So did we finish doing these samplers then? Sorry, because we went a bit off kilter then, didn't we? So we finished doing both of those, and then the book, the 30-year celebration. 30, wasn't it?
Yeah, 30-year anniversary.
30 years.
And that was in.
Yeah, there you go.
When was that? 2000.
30 years ago. No,
it's more than
30
that.
years ago.
It's more than that. Now, because this has been reprinted a number of times as well.
Jane, do you get the gold needles with the ball end? Which one's that to do with, Kaz? They'll all have ball ends, won't they?
Yes, but they're all of our needles that are in the kits, unless specified, are ballpoint or blunt.
Yes.
They're
but they won't all
sharps.
be gold, will they?
They won't always be gold, no. We've mentioned when they've been gold.
Yes.
The nickel-plated needles that are wrapped, that are in most kits, will also be blunt.
Yes.
We don't use a sharp needle because what you're trying to do is part the threads of the fabric rather than piercing it.
You put a sharp needle in when you've got something to sew together, haven't you? So when you're making the greenhouse,
yes, exactly.
There'll be a sharp needle to sew the seams because you couldn't do that with a blunt needle.
No,
Could you do that?
And putting the felt and the lining on a bit.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yes, so for counted embroidery, we use blunt needles.
Okay, I think I've got another question just come in. I'm always amazed at how much. Oh no, don't! It's not. I'm always amazed at how much John knows. He understands exactly where to start stitching the greenhouse pieces. No, I've just learned. It's because I sit here every day with experts, isn't it? But thank you, whoever said that, Chris.
But at least he has been a stitcher and does know something about sewing.
Who?
You.
Oh yes.
Years of
right,
sewing.
I've got to go. What's the matter? What's the matter, Kat? Say that again. Right, we've now run through everything of Jane, so they're all not on pre-order anymore. They're all on the other column, but. Please be careful because they're all selling out fast, and we had loads and loads and loads of new buyers, which I said at the beginning because some people were turning on going, who's this old bird? Who's this man in a pink shirt? What am I watching? You know what I mean? They don't know who we are every day, don't they?
No, of course they don't.
And they still don't know, but they know about you. Anyway, when are you in next?
Don't know. Next month.
Next month, okay. It'll most probably be me. And if it's a Monday, it'll be Rebecca Reed. And it'll either be me or Wendy if it's the rest of the time, because obviously Vic's at home doing jigsaws.
Yes,
and
doing jigsaws and resting.
But she'll be back 4 days after having a baby, because if Jane can be packing boxes,
absolutely.
Vix can be back. She'll be texting Kat now going, oh, she already has. She already has going, what's he talking about 4 days? What's he talking about? Thank you so much.
That's all right,
pack your stuff up, because you've got to go
yes,
to the garage
yes, I
with your
will,
car.
I will.
Don't go anywhere. We've got this Beth Studley in the next hour with Katharine. Oh, and it's already selling on pre-order. So we will see you in 4 minutes from now.
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task, and sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
If you're a Sewing Street or Yarn Lane customer, no matter how many times you check out in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. So don't wait to add the item you want to your basket and check out. You will only pay one P&P even if you check out multiple times in one day.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Hello, I'm Katharine Wright. I'm from Leicestershire Craft Centre, which is based in Market Harborough. I love all kinds of sewing, but probably my favourite thing to do is dressmaking. But I also teach patchwork and free motion embroidery and anything to do with textiles really. I love to have a go at felting and crochet and knitting and you name it, I'll have a go at it. So I started sewing when I was 7. My mum taught me to sew, and the very first thing I made was an apron. But I'm a terribly impatient person. I just want to get on with the project. So I didn't wait for her to help me cut it out, and I cut it out myself, and I didn't know you had to have a seam allowance. So I made the world's smallest apron, and my mum still has it somewhere. Sewing tips, I would say, I teach a lot of people to sew, especially beginners, and I would say don't get disheartened, take your learning journey slowly. Don't expect to suddenly make a ball gown or suddenly make a king-size quilt. Build up your skills, slowly. And I would also say the iron is your friend. Use your iron a lot. It makes your sewing look so much better. It helps you get things in place where you want it before you sew, and is a really handy thing to have.
Oh my word, it's all go today. Now, a lot of you, I have to tell you now, this is selling already because Kat put it on pre-order an hour ago. This is a Beth Studley Sparkler Quilt Block. We've got a picture here of Beth Studley's actual one, right? So this is Beth Studley using her own fabrics. That's that one. That's what we are going to create today, using her pattern, but using our panels to show you how to make it. Right, now I need to say before we start, the pattern is not available on its own, right? So it's the only way you can buy the pattern is in the bundle that we've done. So let me start with, I've got 2 different colorways. So I'll start with this one here. So you get the pattern. This is your pattern here. So you get your pattern. You also get 1 meter of the blue. That's for your backing. Yep. Then, I had to look at Katharine then, she was nodding. Then you get this panel. Okay. Oh, hang on, it's huge, whatever it is, it's huge. Right, look. Rainbow colours. Gorgeous rainbow colours. They've got, that one's got like Sashko print on it. That's got a bigger Sashko print on it. That's got a tessellated print on it. That's got like triangles, all dissected. No, that doesn't sound attractive, does it? Dissected triangles. That one's got compasses, that one's got honeycomb. But then you've got 2 big bits at the bottom there. So one of those, oh, it's a funny price, isn't it? 33.47. One of these will be your background, I'm taking it, and one of them be your centre. But I'll check with Katharine in a minute. So that's the rainbow version. Beautiful, isn't it? So you get the panel, right, hang on. You get the panel, you get the instructions, and you get 1 metre of the blue fabric, £33.47. The finished size is, it feels weird, right? So the finished size is 24-inch square, but there seems to be an awful lot of fabric here, so I'm sure you must have some left over. But anyway, I think it's the cutting, but we'll get excuse me, Katharine, to explain all of that in a minute. So that was rainbow. We've also got fuchsia. I had no idea it was called fuchsia. So again, you get the pattern. Oh, you still get blue as your background. You still get blue as your backing. Then this is the panel for this one. Right, so, oh my word. Here you go. So I've done it the other way up this time. So these These are your two biggest squares up here. Hang on, I'll just wait till you come to the big shot. There you go. These are your two biggest squares here. And then, I mean, they've called it fuchsia, but there is like blue and white and pale pinks and everything in there. But if you just want to, which one are you demoing in? The fuchsia, in the fuchsia one. Oh, she picked the fuchsia one. If Little Paul was here, he would be saying, buy it today and it'll arrive in the fuchsia, but we won't go there. Okay, this is the most popular bundle on pre-order. Right, now, I've got something else to offer you now as well, right? So how much is that? $33.47. So that's the pattern, the metre of blue fabric, and that huge panel. Now, that panel can be used for anything, really, can't it? All sorts of projects, not just Beth Studley. Oh, actually, Beth Studley pods would be nice in that, wouldn't they? Right, how would you fancy if we offered you that panel and that panel together as a bundle? It's got a saving. £34.98, saving £5 if you buy them both together. Now that's with no pattern and not the metre of blue, just that panel and that panel. Okay, that price is wrong. Oh yes, because it's wrong because you're taking £5 off. Got it. I understand it now. Because they're $19.99 each. That's how much these panels sell for. Should be £40, shouldn't it? But you're getting your £5 off, aren't you? Sorry, my bad. Elliot did exactly the same as me earlier. Right, so you get the rainbow and the fuchsia panels. Nothing else, just the two panels. But get £5 off for buying them together. There's an awful lot of fabric there, isn't there? There's an awful lot of fabric between those two. £34.98. Right, okay. Now, I was about to go then. Oh, I can't remember which one came off which one. It really doesn't matter, does it? Right. Shall we do some sewing? It's foundation paper piecing, by the way. It's foundation paper piecing. Okay, so for now, the main graphics will be fuchsia because that's the one that Katharine's working with. But actually, it is the most popular as well at the moment. Do I need to open the... No, I'll let Katharine do all the explaining. And if I need to be... I'll be the glamorous assistant if we need to show anything. Right.
No
pressure.
So, what you get in your pattern, you get your instructions. They assume you know what you're doing with foundation paper piecing.
Right, okay. That's good to know. So it's not for a beginner.
It's not really a beginner project. No, I would say you need to have done some foundation paper piecing before.
Okay.
Unless you watch this demo and think, actually, it looks so easy, I'll have a go using the demo.
Well, even more, no pressure.
Now, you also get in there, you get all your pattern pieces. And you can see that I have cut them all out, ready. With this, you have 14 different shaped pieces.
Okay.
So each little stripe on your quilt is a different shape.
Right.
So there's 14, and they're called A, the little sparklery bits.
Yes.
And then these bits that make the background are B's. So there's 14 of those as well.
Oh, I see. So those two big bits, one's A and one's B background.
Absolutely. So when you get your panel, you want to use the biggest colours on that panel as your background colours.
Right.
So I've cut the panel up. You can see there's the plain pink and the sort of pink flowery.
Right.
You won't get absolutely all the shade because it's 20. Okay. Each one you cut 4 out of. So my maths is terrible, but it's 14 times 4 basically.
Right, 52.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you won't get every single background piece out of just one of them. You have to put in a little splash of the other. But that's what you've got on here. And that actually looks really nice.
So you choose one of them. So you choose the...
So I've chosen that one to be my main background one.
And then every now and then you have a magenta
that one. Absolutely. Yes.
But that's what the two big squares are for.
That's what the two big squares are for. I've also cut my little centre shape out of that fuchsia as well, because then that picks it up.
Right.
And then you've got all your different little stripes, panel pieces, to cut your strips, your sparkles,
right,
as it were.
I had a quick question then. it's gone. It'll come back.
I'm going to go through cutting out in a second. You
Okay.
also get in your pack your layout pieces for your foundation paper piecing. These have been copied onto foundation paper. Now, I have made it with just ordinary paper, so if you haven't got foundation paper, don't worry. You can use ordinary printer paper.
Yeah, and the cheaper the better.
Yes.
The cheaper the better.
Yes. So you print them off. Again, 4 of each you need to copy, because this is 1/4 of the quilt.
Yeah.
So everything you do 4 times.
Right.
Okay, and that's how you have just laid it out like that for you, so you can see how eventually it will all go together.
You know these pieces here, did you photocopy the cutting out pieces?
No, I just cut them out of the...
But if you're at home, photocopy those as well, maybe.
I don't think you need... I think I just cut them straight out the sheet.
I know, but I like to keep... You know, if I've paid how much for my pattern, I want to keep it intact.
I will tell you a little thing. So I'd cut them all out, and then my dog ate 2B.
Oh, or
and
not 2B.
Yeah, and I had to ring Jess up and go, can you send me the pattern again? Because I've lost a piece. Because they're all different, it's not like you can just
And you can't say, my dog ate my homework.
My dog did eat it, yeah. We never found the pin. That was in. We found the bits of fabric. We didn't find the paper. We didn't find the pin.
Have you given him cotton wool sandwiches since?
No,
Oh.
she seems fine. She's fine. She
Yeah.
eats everything. Okay, so that's how it lays out.
Right.
Okay, now when you come to cut out all your different pieces, I would cut them in 4s in order. I would not cut all of them out at once because you'll get muddled up.
Right.
So I would start with number 1 and number 2, and I've only cut, for the purposes of the demonstration, I've only cut 1 out because I'm not going to make 4 at a time.
Yeah.
But if you're making at home, I would make each quarter at a time. So I would get your piece that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would start and do all your number 1s, all your number 2s, and in that way you won't get them muddled up.
Right.
It would be easy to. When you pin on to cut out your shapes, this is really important. You are going to put your shape the right way up, but on the wrong side of the fabric.
Right.
They all need to be done the same way round. Don't think, I'll save my fabric, I'm going to fold it. You'll get a mirror image. And they've all got to be done the same way. So how I would do it is to, if you want to cut out more than 1 at a time, you need to cut yourself little rectangles and you need to stack them like that, so everything
So
is
all
the
of whatever
same
number that
way.
is, you don't do any reverses, they're all exactly the same.
Yeah.
What would happen if you did them all from the other side? Would the
It
starburst?
won't work.
It just won't work.
It won't work.
Okay.
I could tell you honestly,
Oh,
John, it doesn't work.
So you not only had to ring up and get another pattern, you had to ring up and get another panel of fabric as well. Okay, so it has
I
to be.
promise you, I've made all the mistakes on this. So I really know what I'm doing now.
No, that's brilliant. So that it's on the wrong side, all
Yes.
exactly the same.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So you can see, so that's one strip. Now you can see, I know I haven't cut it very close,
Yeah.
but because you don't, to do 4 of them, you are going to use most of the strip.
Right.
So yes, it
don't make a
looks like
mistake.
you've got loads of fabric. I realise I could have cut that a little
Yeah,
closer.
but you're not going to
But
save much.
you haven't got heaps and heaps. You will use it. Okay, so
So that was, sorry to interrupt, that was one of the stripes on the fabric
Yeah.
to cut 4 of those pieces out, and it's
Yeah.
taken up all of it apart from that little
just
square
that
at
little
the
bit
end.
left. I mean,
Okay.
they're all different lengths and different sizes, so a short one obviously won't take as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure right side up the template, but on the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, that's my top tip on the cutting out.
Right.
Okay, so you see, look how organised I am. I've got all my little numbers all clipped together and not taken any pattern pieces off until I'm ready to use them, because they're so similar, some of them, you just would not find what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine you've cut what you want to cut. So we've got to start by putting each little pair together. Now, the way I found with this, the best way to do it was to leave your pattern pieces on until you're absolutely ready to sew it. Because again, if you take it off, some of these little ones, if you rotate them, you can't find which way you're putting them back together.
Oh, no.
So You can see I've put that on my table the way I'm going to sew it. So I can make sure I'm going to get it the right way. Okay. Because when you pop them together, so right sides together, you can see they're not necessarily, yes, it's matching up here, but you've kind of got that sort of angle thing going on, which will be right when you undo it. But sometimes when you're doing it, you're thinking, oh, is that the right way round?
Yeah. So don't let the dog in the room while you're doing this.
Definitely not. So keep that pattern piece close by and you will, I'm nearly killing myself on the little line here. And then you won't get that the wrong way round. Because again, if it gets rotated and it's the wrong way, it won't fit onto our pattern. So the thing is, it sounds a little bit complicated to start off with, but actually you get into a real rhythm with it because it is the same process over and over.
Yeah.
So you're just going to sew across with a 1/4 inch seam. And then, so you can see that's how that's come out. And we're going to press that one flat. Where's it gone? Ooh, I'm using this nice little handy iron because it's good for these little things. There's no particular way, I think, it doesn't tell you any particular way to do your seams. So I'll go towards the darkest one because that'll look.
Kat's got a couple of questions. The first one, Kat, was what? What, to sew your foundation paper piecing to? Somebody's out said, can you use tracing paper? It depends whereabouts you're going to use it. You can trace the pattern off. I wouldn't use tracing paper instead of FPP paper. No, not at all. Because it would serrate too, not serrate, perforate too quickly. It'd be all over the place. So no, I definitely wouldn't do that. And what was the other question, Elliot? Something about have a what? Photocopy of what? Could you have a photocopy of the original what, though? Oh, no. It's all right. It's not one of your questions. It's an Elliot question, so I'm going to carry on. I'll tell him later.
Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to do the same with number 2, piece number 2.
Yeah.
And then we can start popping them onto the paper. I wouldn't use tracing paper. If you haven't got the foundation paper, just photocopy of paper is fine.
Yes.
What I'd do is make your stitch on your sewing machine a little bit smaller, and then that helps to make it nice and perforated, and it makes it easier to rip it away.
What size are you using for this bit?
So that bit's 2.4, but I'm going to make it slightly smaller when we start working on the paper. Okay. Put those to one side for now. I'm just going to clip them back together just to be organised.
Are they numbered?
They are all numbered and lettered. So that says 2A, 2B.
Okay, and would you put that back together, like, because if you're going to do 14 of them now, you haven't put the pattern piece back to the piece of the fabric that you've got there?
No, because I'm going to attach them to, I'm not going to do anything with any of the other pieces now until I've attached these first two to my paper.
Right,
and that's what I think is the best way to do it. Because you could think, oh, it'd be a really good idea just to do all this bit now. But if you're going to do that, for goodness sake, label them back up.
Yes.
Well,
that's what I thought you were going to do, because I thought if you're now going to do all of those, I'd want to put the pattern piece back on them. So I knew that was 1A and 1B and 2A and 2B and everything like that.
But I found, having had a false start with it and another go, that the best way was to put a couple together, piece it onto your thing, then go to the next one, go to the next one. And then I didn't get muddled. Right. Now, before you start, you want, this is my husband's nice trusty design ruler, but a piece of card works well, something that you can do a nice sharp edge with, just to fold your paper up.
So what are you folding?
So this is on the first line between number 1 and number 2.
Right.
On your paper piece, you've got all the numbers on there, and you must piece them in the order that it gives you, in numerical order. This is one of those processes that you do actually have to do it in the right order.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm just going to fold the first 2. And you'll see that they are taped together, but that doesn't seem to cause any problems when you're doing this, so don't worry about that. Okay, right, I've got to just think about this, John.
Yeah.
It's always the first one is like, which way round?
Yeah.
Let me do it like this, because when you sew it, it's going to come out. This is a good way to think about it. Think to yourself, this is how it's going to come out, because you get the right side on the wrong side of your foundation paper. And once you've got the first one in place, you're okay. So if I do, I've gone all cack-handed. Hang on.
Do you want me to recap bundles while you have a think?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
the first one.
Yeah, that's fine. So here we go. I've got two bundles. The most popular is the fuchsia. Oh, only just though. So what you get in the bundles, you get a metre of the blue fabric, you get the pattern. Now, somebody just asked if the pattern was available on its own. No, it's not today. It's only available in the bundles. And you get this great big panel. That's half of it, right? That's one half. And that's the other half. So obviously, these are your two background colours. The fuchsia and the pink floral are your two background colours. These are all your, they're not sprinklers, what are they called? Sparklers. Sparkler on bonfire night. Anyway, so that's that bundle. That's the fuchsia bundle. Slightly more in the lead than the rainbow. And then the rainbow one is this. You still get your metre of your blue, which is for your backing, your instructions, and this is your rainbow one. So that's one side. I'm showing you both sides because it's easier to sew it like that. So there's one side. And there's the other side. So that bundle is $33.47. Now, if you want to buy, if you don't want if you might already have the pattern from, from Beth or whatever. So if you want just the two panels, we've done a deal. So you get that panel, no backing fabric, no patterns or anything like that, just the two panels. £5 off, you buy them together today. Should be $39.99. Hang on, $39.98. $39.98. Taking £5 off, so you get them $34.98. Brand new panels. I can't tell you how brand new these panels are. These are brand spanking new panels. If I could say they're still damp off the press. They're not, obviously, but you know what I mean. They're that new. Right. Okay. Are you ready?
I've got myself sorted. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So, right sides together of your two pieces. Pattern piece on top like that. I would suggest now make sure that you either end you've got a little bit of an overlap of your piece. It's important that when you will have a bit overlapping because it will get trimmed down at the end, but if it's short, it won't work when you come to put it together with the other pieces. Now, I would put, because they're quite long pieces, so just a little pin in to hold it in place as you sew will not hurt. You can see that I've got about 1/4 inch overlapping. That's my 1/4 inch seam.
So when you cut them out, they've got their 1/4 inch seam
yes,
included
they
in them.
have. They have. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down this line. So what I like about foundation paper piecing is you've got a line to follow. And so it always comes out really nicely because you can follow that straight line and it makes it look super complicated.
I was going to say, it's how you get precision, isn't it?
Absolutely,
with foundation paper
yes.
piecing.
I would do, right, we'll make this slightly smaller. And I would do a little reverse at the beginning and end, just either side of your line. Just because when you come to tear your paper away, it just, your stitches don't start to unravel. Okay, so we can see we've got the first two. So open that out, give it a press.
Oh, so now, because she's now done the pattern pieces, you don't need to add a quarter ruler or anything because it's already done for you, is it?
Absolutely. So there's no trimming. So often in foundation paper piecing, you might have a rectangle and then you'll stitch it on and then you'll have to trim it down.
Yeah.
But there's no trimming in this one because they're already all built in. Okay, so that's number 1 and 2 done. So we'll go to number 3. Pop them together. And add that on.
Yeah, so you're not, when Kat's saying you're not wasting any fabric because she's done all the sorting out for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this one goes together with your little 1/4 inch seam.
Oh, so you literally do
So
it one at a time. You've obviously done the first 2 because you need to sew 2 together.
Yeah.
But now you're literally going to do the next sparkler, then the next sparkler, then the next sparkler.
Absolutely. So when I had a go at making it up, I did do 4 at a time. I did do the 4 quarters all at once. So although I'm only doing 1 at a time here, at home I did all the number 1s, all the number 2s.
Oh, I see.
And then I stitched that bit 4 times.
Yeah.
Then I did all the number 3s. So that then sped it up a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. So we get our piece and find your fold, and then hopefully if you line that up, right sides together again, we should be okay. Make sure we've got that little overlap. She does suggest in the pattern that because there's sort of quite a lot coming as you come down to these points on the pattern, that you might want to trim them smaller if you want to. I didn't find it too bad actually.
Okay.
But that is
I suppose if you've got loads of them all come... Oh, but they don't all meet in the middle because you've got the big star in the middle anyway, haven't you? I was going to say, if all those points came together at one point in the middle...
Yes, they don't actually.
Maggie says, does the panel just make one block? Yes, Maggie, it does. I know. I couldn't believe it either. Excuse me. I thought that you'd get several out of it because, as Catherine's explained, when you've cut them, because you have to cut them all out the same way, you can't move them around and interlace them or anything. You've literally, so each panel will make one 24 by 24 inch block.
You'll have little bits and bobs left over, but not huge amounts.
No, we haven't got enough to make another block.
No. So this colourway is looking pretty already, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you can use your stash, but if you wanted to make a second one, or a third one, or a fourth one, you could use your stash. But that's how much fabric you're going to need to be able to make them. You know what I mean? It's
surprising. It's more than you think, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's because you're doing 4 of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because when Kat and I were looking for the Beth Studley original this morning, and we only looked at the picture. And we were looking at great big quilts because we knew how much fabric was on the panel. We were looking for a great big quilt, and I kept saying, "No, that's not it. That's not it." And Kat went, "Oh, found it!" And it was like that, you know.
But it's a great. I think it's such a stunning design. It's a real, feature.
Do you know what I think
quilt,
I'd do? I'd make the block, and then I'd have that as the centre of a quilt, and then do other things around it, other blocks around it, and have that as my central big block in, like a medallion quilt almost.
Okay. So you can see that once you've got started, the process becomes the same. Now I'm a bit narrow on that one, so you've just got to be quite careful. This one's going to be a little bit tight. Obviously not placed that brilliantly.
Right.
So I'm going to try and help myself by really, really ironing it open. So really watch your placement. I mean, I would say when you're cutting out, yes, follow the lines, but you can be a little bit generous.
Yeah.
You've got enough fabric to be a little bit generous, and just to give you that extra bit if you.
Yeah, because when people start FPP, I always say to them, "Oh, cut the pieces a little bit bigger because you can always trim it off." But as we're cutting 2 Beths, oh yeah, you're all right now. Look,
it'll be okay. Like that, just be careful that they don't wiggle away as you get them in place. The thing with this is you have got everything to help you be accurate, but if you do it wrong, it isn't brilliant to unpick because it tends to tear your paper. So, take the time just to try and get it in the right place before you do so. Because, and the thing is, once you started, and if you mess up your paper, you don't want to have to start the whole bit again, do you? This has got a very nice, I think, spring feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever been this organised.
No, I was going to say, I've never seen so many clips used on your shows before. Somebody just asked what the skill level is, experienced, because obviously you've got foundation, paper piecing and things like that. So please don't, well, it's up to you. It's up to you when you do it. But Beth Studley actually says experienced. So I've done a few foundation paper piecing projects before. You have a go at this one.
Yeah, I think so. Just also because, I mean, I've done, when I did the circus quilt one of hers, there was quite detailed instructions on how to paper piece in there.
Right.
Whereas this one, it assumes you know what you're doing with it.
But then you see, my friend Shamoya Mary, who had never done, she used to watch me when I did jewellery and everything, we became friends and things. She hadn't done sewing since she'd been at school. And when we opened Sewing Quarter, she watched and she bought a few things and she said, I can't sew this, can't sew this. We then did a foundation paper piecing quilt. She bought it and she said she got it immediately. And that's her thing now. She does everything foundation paper piece now because it's in her brain. My brain goes against everything because it goes against everything you taught. You know, sew here, do this, put it backwards, do that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, but for her, it clicked in immediately.
Yeah.
So if you've got that kind of brain.
Oh, absolutely. And if you like the look of it, have a go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know. It's great to learn new things if you've not done it before. Right, look, we're nearly done the first little bit already.
Kat saying, if you were doing this project at home, would you try and do it all in one go, or is it one that you can put down and come back to?
I think you can put it down and come back to it, as long as you're organised with it.
And also, if you're doing it like you are and cutting out as you go, you know what state. Leave a note on the top of the pile saying, next job is 3B on, you know, whatever, so that you know where to take off.
Yes, and I wouldn't leave bits cut out and not stitched onto your
That's what I mean,
your foundation.
Yeah.
I think that could be tricky.
Yeah.
But you know, if you've done that and then you think, oh, well, I've had enough for today. And I mean, if you did that and you've done that 4 times, you've done a third of your quilt, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could then have a little rest and a cuppa and come back to it.
Or come back to it tomorrow, because you know you've done the first one, yeah.
Exactly. So we'll put that bit to one side and find our next bit.
Right.
Not that bit, that bit. They're the ones I've cut out. So we're on 6 and 7. So obviously when you start a new little piece, you've always got to have 2 for the first one.
Yeah. And every single one, every single strip is made of 2 fabrics. There's not one that's just one fabric, is there?
No. No, they're all 2 pieces. So they're all labelled. So 6A, 6B, 7A, 7B.
Yeah. So I didn't notice that this morning when we looked at it. I was thinking, oh, that would be quite simple. But I mean, it doesn't make it any more difficult. But every single one has got 2 fabrics on it, but just seamed at completely different places.
They are. And I think it's a great design, actually. It's so effective.
So is this one, that first one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this one start at 6?
We're now on 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Imagine the cutting out. Well, I suppose if you're doing it as you go along, it's not too bad, because sometimes people message me going, I'm just starting this quilt. I've only got 777 half square triangles to cut out, because you have to cut them all out. But it's this one, you do a bit of cutting, a bit of sewing, a bit of cutting, a bit of sewing.
And if you cut your panel all up in advance, like I've done, where you've just got your strip, then you can just pull off the... You haven't got to find a massive space to cut out on.
Okay, that's my next question. How did you decide which... Obviously, the 2 colours for the backgrounds are decided for you.
Yes.
Are you just randoming?
I literally cut... Yes, I cut them all out and just stack them up in the order that I cut them out.
Right, okay.
Because they all go really nicely together. So... And I think the way they were arranged on the panel, you hadn't got 2 pinks next to each other and things like that. If I was going to do the rainbow one, I would probably make sure I did it in rainbow order and think about that quite carefully. But where I'd got a pink for my A piece that was quite close to this background colour, then I've used my slightly darker one for the background, so you get that contrast.
Are they random then? Oh yeah, they're completely random, aren't they? As in you can... No, hang on, I'll say that again. Your background colour, you don't have to go in order. You don't have to go one dark, one light, one dark, one light. It can be anywhere. So it's all right to change the background colour.
So on that one, I put it with the one that was, again, a little bit lighter, just as I went along and started to cut. Right, this is the first one. This is the one I always have to think about, the first one.
Okay. So if you go away
I'll get there, don't worry. Okay, let's do my little bit of folding first. Your patchwork ruler's not any good for this job because it's got too much of a thick lip. So. Yeah,
most people, well, they're quite long seams, but most people I know, if they haven't got a posh husband's, not saying your husband's posh, a posh ruler from their husband, would use a piece of cardboard, like a sturdy piece of cardboard.
Absolutely fine.
And it's smaller, like a postcard or something like that.
Yes, he did. My husband did product design, so he did technical drawings.
Does he know you've got
and things.
that?
No.
He's not going to be walking around the house saying, where's my
ruler? It was on the desk, therefore, you know, it was there for the taking, wasn't it?
We've got a suggestion from Angela, going across the bottom. I think this would be lovely as a centre block in a quilt. Well, Angela, what did I just say? With different sized pinwheel blocks around it. I'm not patient enough, unfortunately, from Ange. No, Ange, what I would do is I'd do that as my centre block, and then I'd do a medallion, and I'd have like a pink, you know, do different colours, borders of different sizes going out till it got to as big as I needed it to be. And then a question from Jill. It says, hi John, could you please ask Katharine if 2.5-inch strips would be wide enough for the sparkler quilt?
I'm gonna measure the widest one here for you. Except my ruler's in centimetres. Have we got a?
This ruler's hanging there.
Inchy ones.
Look,
look at this sweet little one. We'll use this. This has got inches on. That one is. You'll be tight on these. Wide one is 2 1/4, so you're not going to get your seam allowance in there.
No,
needs to be just. Most of them would be fine because they're quite small, but there's the odd big one that I don't think would be.
Or you know how you've got the seams between A and B going that way? You could sew 2 2.5-inch strips together.
You could,
and then put your pattern piece down on that. So you then have, as well as you have your 2 colours going that way, you could have your...
Yes.
That could be the same colour.
And I mean, she quilted down the centre, so if you did that, you just absolutely highlight it with your...
I'm just thinking if you've got a jelly roll or design roll that you want to do that with, then you could do that to make your pieces bigger,
What you want to make sure, so that your pattern works, is you've got enough of a similar colour for your background.
Yes.
Else you'll find the little sparkles don't stand out. If you made those all different...
It wouldn't work.
It would be beautiful and stripy, but it wouldn't look like a spark.
No.
So
maybe use your 2.5-inch design roll, jelly roll, whatever, but then buy a metre of fabric or half metre of fabric. Well, it's only a fat quarter, actually, isn't it? Isn't that a fat quarter? Oh, no, it looks a bit bigger.
I'd say it's a bit bigger.
Yeah.
I'd say
so
go
buy
half a metre.
Yeah. Or you might have in your stash, but make sure you've got enough to do those 2, because obviously in a design roll, they're all going to be different, aren't they? Good point, no, good point.
But it's a good idea. I have to say, to the lady who said she's not patient, I am not renowned as a patient person.
Well, no, I was quite shocked when I saw all of those come out with the clips.
If you saw the hour I did first, a quick make's normally my thing. But actually, I love doing foundation paper piecing. I really like it. And it's one of those things that it's kind of quite good sometimes to do something that isn't quite your nature, and it makes you take a breath and slow down, and then you're really pleased with yourself that you've done something that isn't normally
But the complete
your
nature
thing.
of it is you can't go, oh, I'll just razz up this apron. You can't go, I'm just going to razz up a foundation paper piece. And so it will slow everything down, won't it? And it's good for your heart rate
and that is
everything.
nice. And actually, like, you get into a little rhythm with it, and it grows faster than you think, actually. I think, yes. It's funny because Hannah, who works with me, normally does loads of really, really precise stuff, but doesn't like foundation paper piecing.
Oh.
Whereas I do all this quick whizzy stuff, but actually I really do. So, you know,
See?
horses for courses.
Yeah, exactly. Each their own.
Okay, what number are we at? We're at, gosh, number 8 already. Storming through. So you put your 3 panels, when you've got your 3 bits done, they go together with that little centre piece. And there are...
Oh, is the centrepiece made of 4 sections then?
Yeah, so that's 4 little pieces as well.
Oh.
So you put each quarter together, and then you obviously put your things together.
Oh, well, it's just
And
that
actually, it looks like it'll be really tricky to join together, but it isn't.
No.
There's only the little bit in the centre that's got to match. And because it's all the same colour, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world.
Notice,
You can quilt over it. You can stick a button on.
Oh, Kat's having it as a centre table, on a central table with a candle in the middle.
Oh, you won't want candle wax dripping on it though, would you?
Do what?
You won't want candle wax
Well, she can
dripping
put a
on
little
you.
saucer underneath
Yes,
it.
you'd have to.
Depends how cheap the candle was, I suppose, as well, doesn't it? Well, if it's Kat's, it'll be cheap, isn't it? Or you get one of those that's sold in a glass thingy, so there is no wax dripping. You know, like, is it called Diptyque? Or White Company, or Joe Malone. There are all lots of them. They're already in the glass, so you don't. It doesn't dribble down onto your mat.
Now you'll see on mine on this that maybe my edges don't look super straight. That is because I've cut all my pieces out with scissors. You can rotary cut them if you want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, whatever you prefer. Again, all those seams are not seen, they're on the back, aren't they? Because you don't see it once it's all quilted.
I think I've never seen a foundation piece where you don't cut it. Where you don't cut it away. With
It's
your...
quite nice. That does speed it up as well, doesn't
because
it?
when we were going through the trolley before you came in this morning, I was like, oh, there's no 1/4 inch, you know, because I read that it was foundation paper piecing, but like, oh, there's no ruler. Where's that 1/4 inch ruler? Obviously, you just don't need it on this.
The only trimming you've got is obviously once you've done your pieces like this, you'll see they come over the edge a little, and you do trim those down before you put it all together.
Julie said, can you imagine K facet for sparkle and dark grey and black self pattern for the background?
Ooh,
Make 4 blocks for a lap quilt. Be lovely, Julie. In fact, Julie, when we were looking this morning, we pulled out one that was like smaller versions of the sparkler, and that was all made of Kaif as well.
He's my favourite.
Oh, is it Kaif?
He's my childhood hero. That's who I wanted to be when I was about 14. I just wanted to be a knitwear designer, because at that point he mainly did knitwear. Yeah. I love his stuff.
We've had some of his knitwear on Yarn Lane.
I know, and I keep missing it, and then I keep going on to see if they're still there, and they're not there.
No. I had a round
I'm not
up
speedy
of
enough.
all we had left was there's a couple of the books still left, but the kits, there was just the green blanket with the squares on it, and the big cushion, the black cushion with the spirals on.
I did meet him few years ago. I think he thought I was a nutcase. I was like,
Oh,
you're my
no.
childhood hero.
Oh, don't, I did that to one of my, not childhood heroes, and she wasn't very happy about it.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this one.
Yeah.
And then if I can find, if I can, I'll trim and just put that one together to
Yeah,
show
yeah, because
you.
you haven't have time to do all three. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
So
actually,
you're
yes,
just-
because we're going to Yarn Lane, we have to finish that a little bit earlier as well. So.
Well, we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
I'll do as much as we can.
Okay, brilliant. I mean, it's Katharine doing Yarn Lane, but we can't go over into it because it's a completely different channel, different show, everything. Yeah, and Rebecca Reed will be watching. If we go any 1 minute into her time,
Will we get in trouble?
oof, we'll get the email. And we've got a lot to get through in Yarn Lane, haven't we? There's lots.
Oh
in
my
Yarn Lane.
word, yes. It's been a busy day.
Yeah, they haven't given
Today.
you 3 easy. The first one was easy because you know how to make your apron, but then suddenly it was like, and there's this to do, Katharine, and there's these, and look at all this knitting you've got to do. Oh, and there's crochet as well.
Keeps me on my toes.
Oh, Kat, this is Kat's question. So have you got a lovely relaxed evening planned tonight?
Friday night. Do you know what? After I've been on here doing 3 hours, and you do concentrate quite hard.
I know people think we come in and just chat
I usually
away.
go home and have a little lie down in the afternoons, a little snooze.
Yeah, we don't have to. The thing is, I don't have time to do that because by the time we've packed everything up, and then we've unpacked tomorrow's show, we've made sure and then we've done voice. So normally I'd be with Hannah and we do a voice message to Kat about the next day's show and everything like that if she's taken over. By the time I've driven home, it's time for my tea and bed. There's no time to lie down and go for a sleep, otherwise that will be it till the next morning, especially if I'm getting up to come in here the next morning.
They should just make you a little bed in the corner, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hannah says that now that she lives here all the time.
Little bunks.
Oh, this is Kat's last day of the month. Oh, there's only, hang on. So what day are we on? 26. So 20, oh, clocks go, yeah, 27, 28. Then it's Bex Reed on 29, me 30, 31. Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to see if I can get this little cutting mat out.
Have you not got a cutting mat?
No, but that's me not being
Oh.
terribly organised. It's all right. I can just.
You sure?
Yeah, it's going.
I thought there was one.
It's going to be like one of those, you know, moving your
Yeah.
tablecloth. There we go. Just to trim it down. I wasn't sure we'd get to this point, you see.
Oh, I see. Well, you've surpassed yourself, Katharine.
So when you cut out your templates, there's obviously the solid line that you sew to, and then there's a dotted line that's a 1/4 inch wider. So when you're trimming your panel bits down, trim them to that dotted line.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to trim to the... Oh, imagine if you did all that foundation paper piecing and then you trimmed to the solid line.
You would cry, wouldn't
Yes.
you?
I don't think I'd cry. I'd cry later. I think the air would be blue.
But you can see there's not a lot of excess.
No.
No. So you've just got to be careful on your placement.
Make sure you get a nice sharp blade in your rotary cutter as well.
Yes. And don't cut your fingers.
Oh, well, it's doing a health and safety thing. If you're cutting angles, watch your fingers.
Absolutely. I've just gone a bit close there. There we go. Let's do this. When you've trimmed them, I always think they look lovely. They
Yes,
look really
I always
nice
like that
and
bit
neat,
of foundation
don't they?
because it's suddenly neat and precise, isn't it?
Yes, and it's starting to come together. Where you have to press quite hard where you've got all your little seams, just to get that done. There are some little angles at the corners, just where you, because it shows where your seam lines are really.
Ellis just said he's going to order us all a pizza for lunch today. That's nice, isn't it?
What's your favourite pizza topping?
Well, I don't really do pizzas very often because I'm gluten-free and then you have to get it's all... But my favourite ever one, and I can't remember what it's called, and it used to be at Pizza Express, and it was the spinach And one with an egg.
Oh,
in
with the egg
middle.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
a
olives.
nice one. Yeah.
Oh, I just love that in London. I don't think I've seen a Pizza Express since I've come up here, but oh, it's gone. Doesn't exist anymore.
I think it was
there are.
one of those ones that didn't.
No,
do
it's still
so
around. We're not. They are still around, but not obviously not open. Okay, so now in real life you'd have 3 for your quarter, wouldn't you? 3 for your section that you're making now. Yeah.
You would. I would have. Let me show you another one there.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Okay, it's all this flipping and mirror imaging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So when you've got all, imagine there's all 3 made.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the fun bit. This is the therapeutic bit.
Oh, now do you take your papers off now?
Take your paper off now.
Oh.
And as you can see, it just tears off really nice and easily.
Yeah, there's the bit Elliot and Kat said they could do.
It's
Who is it gives it to their children? Somebody we know gives them to their children to do.
can you see I'm just holding that bit though, so you don't accidentally pull any of your stitching.
Stitches, yeah.
That's just where my bit of sellotape is. It's a little bit tougher, but it's still coming off nice and easily.
Oh, do you know what? It's equal, neck and neck between the fuchsia and the rainbow. Oh, what's your favourite pizza, Elliot wants to know?
Mine,
You're ordering like Katharine might have to leave though.
pizza's one of my favourite foods.
Oh, is it?
Well, anything vegetarian-y. I don't like ham on pizzas at all.
Okay.
But anything else that's more vegetarian-y, I like.
But you're not vegetarian in real life then, it's just on a pizza?
Yeah, I like vegetarian. I was vegetarian for 13 years.
Okay.
And then when I was pregnant with my eldest daughter, I just craved bacon. So I had a bacon sandwich in a motorway service station.
Okay.
And then I've never looked back since.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like any food really.
Okay, like Elliot. Oh, he doesn't like fruit. Elliot doesn't like fruit. How can you not like fruit, Elliot?
The only thing I really, really, really don't like is marmalade.
Oh, don't you? Oh, I love marmalade. I have to take out the skinny bit, the peel bits. So if I buy marmalade, which I don't at the moment, I buy the one without the peel in it. Anyway.
Right, it's all right. I just want to make sure
that's fine.
that I put this. If I put the little centerpiece in, I do it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all just to show you. So you put the A piece on first there. Then we attach those together.
Yeah.
And we're back to 1/4 inch seams now.
So now we're just doing proper sewing. We're not doing foundation paper piece or anything
Yes.
now, are we? Because
No.
we've got to do papers.
You're imagining that I've put all that together and that other piece as
Yeah.
well. And then that piece. Now, if I'd done this one, if I'd managed to get that one done, can you see that when you join that together, you've got enough that it goes right down. So when you sew that seam, you go right down that centre bit as well. So actually it joins together really easily, really nicely.
Perfect.
I'll pop that bit on anyway, just so that you can start to see how the pattern's coming.
What, Kat? Oh, she loves the sparkles. That's all she's been saying since 6 o'clock this morning. Oh, love the sparkles, love the sparkles. It's because she's overexcited because her new sofa's arrived. You know, you've told Liam he's not allowed to eat on his food on his lap. Now you've got a new sofa, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's going to last about 2 days, isn't it? Because everybody says that when they get a new sofa.
They have no dining room table, so they have to sit on the sofa. We'll put a sheet down or something on Liam's end. As I imagine he gets overexcitable and chats while he's eating.
What colour's the sofa?
The sofa's grey, I think, isn't it, Kat? Grey.
Very on trend.
Ribbed grey. Cherry had has got ribbed sofas in her. Well, I haven't been to her new house, but in her old house, she had those 2 great big ribbed sofas in the, well, it was a kitchen. The kitchen was bigger than the whole of my house in Cherry's old house.
It's a shame we haven't got about half an hour for me just do that bit, but...
That's fine.
Okay, so you can see how that quarter would then go together. Obviously,
Yeah.
there'll be more stripes out there, but you can see how the pattern started to
Oh, I
come
see. So then
out.
all you've got to do to do it together is you've just got you to put two together and
Yep.
the kites join up at the bottom and the
Yep.
seam and two together and then
Yeah.
run through the middle.
So when you're putting it together, just watch this bit here as you join the two panels
Yeah.
across the top so they match on there. And then as you join across the middle, that you match those bits.
Brilliant.
So
Now,
actually the joining isn't that hard at all.
No, that's the easiest bit, the joining,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and then you can quilt it how you like.
Perfect.
Bind
Lovely.
and bind it.
Right. I would say when you're back, but you're back in about 3 minutes' time, aren't you? So let me just do the bundles and then we'll say goodbye. Right. So, okay. I've got the fuchsia one first. You get 1 metre of the blue fabric. That's quite a lot for the backing. So you get 1 metre of the blue. You get the instructions and the patterns. You get everything you need in there, all the layout and the kind of pattern pieces and everything. And you get this panel, which is called fuchsia. That's one side. This pink here is your background. And that side. And this pink here is your other background. And then all your other sections are made of all those strips of fabric. So all of that, 33, it's a strange price, £33.47. Then we've got it in rainbow. Well, I can just do that, can't I? Oh, no, it's crept into the lead rainbow. So you get 1 metre of the blue, the instructions, and then this panel. So that's one side of it there. Remembering the purple is your background. And this is the other side, remembering the reddy pink is your background. Beautiful. Right, so that's £33.47 as well. Now, would you like the two panels together? Because we've done a deal for today. So, if you want that panel, the rainbow panel, there's no pattern or anything like this, it's just the two panels. The fuchsia panel and the rainbow panel there. £34.98, should be £39.98, but you're saving £5. You can thank Hayley for that. Val says, thank you, making sense of this. I've had the pattern for years now. I'll give it a go. To you, not me. Right, okay. I've got to do tomorrow's menu for Sewing Street because we're changing shows in a minute. Right, here we go. So we've got Karen from... Oh, yes, now tomorrow's all... Right, so Karen from Seams is in for the first half an hour. So we'll do Early Bird, a very quick hello, and then Karen from Seams. Then we've got Riley Blake, Delightful Fabric, a launch at 8:30. 9 o'clock, we've got a tied cushion pillow with Cara Ackerman. It's a cushion with ties. Then we've got... Oh, look, we've got Fat Quarter Fun at 10 o'clock. Then at 11 o'clock, we've got Borrow and Sash... This has changed since I last read it. Borrow and Sash Go Sewing with Cara Ackerman. Then we've got Yarn Lane again tomorrow. We're going to be learning loom weaving, scarves and bags. Who's that with then? I hope it's not me teaching you because I've got no idea. Anyway, so that's tomorrow. So what I need to tell you very quickly before we go is if you're watching on the telly, stay where you are. After the break, you will get Yarn Lane. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook or on the website, you do need to go and find the Yarn Lane YouTube, Facebook or website. If you've bought something from me this morning at Sewing Street, you won't be charged P&P on Yarn Lane later. Also, the products from this show will not be transferring over to Yarn Lane. When we go to Yarn Lane, on the website there, you will only be seeing the Yarn Lane products. I think that's it. And Yarn Lane is now on pre-order as well if you want to go and have a look at what we've got available. It's Katharine and me with lots and lots of mariner, knitting and crochet. So from Sewing Street, I'll say goodbye. See you tomorrow morning. And for Yarn Lane, I'll see you in about 5 minutes.